Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to GKP Pond Live. Hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's had a really good week.
Usual thing. Ups and downs this week.
Bet it has. Usual thing, guys. We'll be right back after this.
Keep smiling.
This would have, if I were going to pick this show, I'm going to pick that one. So we've got a lot more up to come. Nice patterning, nice separation. Look at that, beautiful fish. And again, check this out, guys. This is something else. That is beautiful. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Nice wild common carp coming up for a piece of bread. Perfect. Let's have a look at his koi facility again and look at this full cherry blossom. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get from the other side so we've got the sun behind us so that you can see this, but this is absolutely stunning. Yeah, it is. Look at this. Yeah, it is. Absolutely beautiful. Without further ado, I'll get us inside, have a look around, and let you see what you think. Welcome back, everyone. How you doing, Daz? Good, mate?
Right, thanks. Yeah. Have a good week.
Is it good?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Good man. What's weather been like down your way?
It is absolutely beautiful blue skies at the moment. Look.
Yeah, same here.
Been nice here.
And
For us
it's
as
been
well.
like that for the last
On
couple of days, and I've had my daughter here as well, so she's been swinging the mattock about out in the front garden.
I see that. Yeah. Set up to work.
You got on with it a fair bit, haven't you? So looking good.
Oh yeah, but I mean, Susan and Amy have been out there all day today. I mean, I've been fucking about with filters and fish and stuff because I'm absolutely shattered. Just
I thought he was going to build a massive pond there, Vince, and patio. What's that all about?
I don't want to be wearing one's testicles as earrings.
Say no more.
Excuse me. What's your pond temps been like?
Pond temps are doing all right. The main pond at the moment is sitting at 18 degrees.
Yeah.
That's yours. Have any idea?
Battery's got him in his zapper, so I don't know.
There's got to be something dodgy about that gun, Daz, because I only put new batteries in it last time I went down there, and by the time I'd done 4 ponds, it were flashing. So either the gun's dodgy or the batteries are dodgy.
He's firing blanks, I think.
It could be the person using it.
Could be.
It's the same with me.
Less trigger stain on it.
I know someone else that's dodgy.
18.5 in mine today when I've come home, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I think when I came out the shed an hour or so ago, it was sitting at 18.6.
Yeah, that's good temps, isn't it? That's about time. It took a long time. Well, it feels like a long time since we've been getting warm temps.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they're eating like fuck at the moment as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're demolishing the food.
Sorry, I was just watching dog come running in the house like a lunatic. Yep, there he is. Oh, well, there we go. Hey, Spud.
Hey, Spud.
Get started, mate. You get done.
Done. Tents up, marquees up. Yeah, not bad. We're all right.
Yeah.
So out camping, Ricky.
Setting up cub camp for my boy. He's away for the weekend.
Ah,
Happy days.
Yes.
I still can't
Weekend
get rid of
off,
mine at bloody
Are you
20 odd.
working? Have you got the weekend off, Rick, or are you working?
Bit of both.
you don't work weekends.
Yeah, I do. I don't do the shop. Yeah.
Right then. We've got quite a few topics to go through this evening. Not absolutely loads, but there's quite a few different
What are you doing?
bits and bats. But we've got one which is literally the very first comment. So we might as well. And for anybody that is interested in asking anybody any questions or wants to put any questions across to the panel, type them out in capital letters for us, and then I'll know which ones are different and which ones, and we'll progress through as we normally do. Peter's pulled there. How do you think fish from Indonesia, or India, should I say, and Philippines will affect thinking as they are claiming to be Japanese, but are like new forest boy, they're just from.
No, I didn't. I said I was coming on and leaving and to leave the car on the road.
How do you think?
How do you think the fish from India and Philippines will affect thinking as they are claiming to be Japanese, but they're like new forest boy, they're just from Japanese parents?
Oh, right. Yeah. It's the same as anywhere, then, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, definitely. I mean,
they're just the same bloodline, but
yeah, it's no different, is it?
different country. So,
There's been fish coming from Thailand, South Africa, Israel, every country under the sun. You can't call them Japanese if they're not produced in Japan, can you?
No,
So
they do come under the title of Japanese koi, but no, they're not Japanese, are they?
Japanese descendants.
It's funny though, you know, I've seen quite a few videos on spawning fish in these countries. Dexter's World, he's one of them. And
Ed?
the fish, the brewfish, are tiny. They're literally this size and they're spawning.
will do, yeah.
Is it Dexter's World?
Yeah.
He spawns, and most of his fish that he's spawning from are all small stuff. But
Yeah,
They're not much bigger
nice
than
fish,
Dexter.
all the same, some good stuff. But
mind you, it's been a while since I've watched Dexter, but yeah, he's
I thought he went off. Well, went off for a long while, and he didn't put no out, did he? For a long time. And now
His farm got flooded.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and then I think the government bulldozed it. They wanted it for an airport. He didn't have much luck, bless him. So he's had to completely restart again.
It's a poor deal. How are you doing?
Where was he from?
Sorry?
Where was Dexter from?
He's in India,
He's in India.
All right.
Is it Indonesia? Philippines, somewhere around there?
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry, where was Dexter from?
Southeast Asia.
but again, it's another one of those. He does his spawnings and stuff, and everything he does is so basic, yet it works.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Just a bit of tarpaulin inside a wooden box, isn't it? That's his pond.
Yeah, and that's his fry tanks, like.
Yeah.
And yeah, don't talk to me about fry tanks. You know, I've got to set up another tank thanks to yeah, Ricky.
Not me.
That's the one.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad,
You
isn't
run
it?
out of space
I
very quickly.
immediately went to do it that way, which would have just been pointing to my fish tank.
It's always opposite to the way you think.
It is. So, Peter, the
Yeah.
answer to your question, mate, we don't really think there's any difference. It's just the same.
There ain't no difference.
Just the same. End of the day, there's no difference between them. Polish, Israeli, all of them are all from the same descendants, in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go. Question put to bed.
Question
Done.
today.
Come on, guys, get to the question I'm waiting for.
Well, I think yeah, in fact, we might as well, because I think to be fair, I'm not 100% sure where this we're trying to go, but Bear with me 1 second. There's a community. Bring that up. Right. So, now then, where was that one posted then?
Technology, eh?
Oh no, sorry, wrong one. That one's for the actual for the actual photos.
Just got in the bin.
There we go. Right.
Drink him a beer.
Cheers.
I'm on the Coke.
Cheers.
We did have a question.
0%.
We did have a question, but it would seem said question's being removed.
No.
Ah.
So you're telling me whoever it was hasn't stand by their convictions and left it there?
We've retracted it.
Well, pretty much the question was, in fact, bear with me 1 second.
We've still got it somewhere, haven't we?
Yeah, I've got it.
We've still got it somewhere. I know we have because I'm sure I've got it on my phone. Well, I'm using my phone.
Right. The question was from Tommy B. Standard class koi from breeders for new people coming into the hobby. It's their first buy, and as they are cheap before progressing to better quality, but you rarely get any decent koi in them. I've bought Buyer Standard and New Forest Standard, and the amount of decent fish is about 5%. They should really have been culled. Oh, sorry, should they really have been culled and are not standard at all, mostly before misshaped heads, bodies, tails, and more inclined to have problems. If that's standard, then standards need to be higher, very off-putting for newcomers. Now, if Tommy B has watched my video when we went to see Adam Bayer, and probably Rick's going to back me up when I say this, I think Adam stated that he spawned from, or he put out into his pond and pulled in 40,000 fry. And from 40,000 fry, he took less than 4%. And that 4% give him a yield of what he said, something along the regions of 6 to 7 good quality fish. So if you're getting 5% out of a bag of 200, I think you're doing shit up there, mate.
Yeah, bloody well.
Yeah.
And you've got the other, you've got a couple of things there. One, how is he keeping them? What's he using to filter them, and what's his regime? Because you'll find a lot of deformities and deficiencies of stuff when they are small is down to the keeping of them. I know that because
it's a strange one. He's saying standard grade, but we certainly don't sell anything as a graded fish until they're sort of 2 inch or whatever, by which time the skeleton's formed, and between me and Carl, the fish goes out, we're inspecting. So I can only presume he's talking about fry, and the fry themselves, literally, the skeleton's not formed on anything below a couple of centimetres. They're still soft cartilage. So any issues, be it with us or be it with the person raising them, in water quality, feeding, temperatures, will cause all sorts. And we don't recommend fry for beginners, period. Anyway, you know, it's if someone comes to us and says, you know, we're starting out, we always suggest 6 inch plus fish because they're bigger, stronger. You can still get them cheap, but they're much more robust. The fry are something that more experienced, or it's an interest point of view. But yeah, certainly if anyone ever had an issue, then we'd be the first port of call to speak to. But yeah, it's a bit of an odd question, like I say, because anything over a certain size, be it 2 centimeters, is physically inspected by either myself or Carl before they leave the farm, and it'd be the same with Adam. Any deformations would be culled by us long before, and the deformation rate is very small.
He's just added there, in both cases, they were 4 to 5 inches.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. Not a chance from Ricky.
My question would be to you that, let's say, for example, I don't know how many did you buy, Tommy? Was it a bag of 200, 400, 1,000 or whatever? But what my question was going to be to you, Rick, is if you buy a bag of 250 fry, what do they come in? How many do you get in a number for X amount of pounds, roughly?
250 fry, depending on which size. Was it 2-week-olds out of the hatchery? 60 quid maybe.
Right. So if let's say you buy 250 fry, and from that 250 fry, you select out and you grade through, and eventually you end up with 5 fish that you think of a nice quality and you're happy with. You tell me of any way you can go and buy 5 fish for 60 quid. And
yeah, I think the point he's getting at is the deformation, but there's no way 4 to 5 inch fish are leaving us or Adam, I wouldn't have thought, or any other farm a rate of 95% deformed. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Obviously
that must be an exaggeration, because
it's not even. Yeah, I mean, that's not even.
It's just an impossibility.
It's called a deformed fish. They never get that far.
So yeah, I mean, the amount of 4 to 5s we've been going out this week. I mean, there's hundreds going out each week to hobbyists, to shops, to dealers. Not a single person has had a deformed fish.
Tommy's just put a reply back there and said, "Mate, I know what they look like. What kind of deformities were you getting?"
I mean, at the end of the day, if he's brought some 4 to 5 inch fish that, if he's got 95% deformed, then he needs to speak to us and show us some pictures of the issues with them, because he's obviously seeing something in 95 fish that no one else is. I'm not saying that the quality, the 4 to 5s we've got going out in a minute, they're 65 quid for 20 fish. So what's that? 3 quid a fish. So they're not bad fish for the money, but they're certainly they're not deformed. There's no deformation in the tails or the heads of them. That's just
Well, are you saying, Tommy? Are you saying that they were deformed when you received them, or they became deformed during your keeping
over a period of time? Because if it's happened over a period of time,
but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he's brought. Well, obviously, everything we do is recorded for CFAS, so every batch of fish we know where they're coming from and the whole rest of it. But if he's saying he brought 4 to 5 inch fish and wasn't happy with 95% of them, then why hasn't he contacted us direct? I don't. It'd be very obvious at that size.
At the time of receiving is what he said, which is So, did you not think to pick up the phone, Tommy, and contact him and say, "You've sent me a batch of X amount of fish that are all deformed"? Because I mean, that's the first thing I'd be doing if I'd received them and they were in that manner or in that description.
Yeah, I think the thing to do is for him to give him photograph them and get back to us, because at the end of the day, if he's got an issue with them, then we want to make sure everyone's happy with everything we send out. But at 4 to 5 inch, there is no way that 95% of them are going out with gill, head, and tail deformation. It's just, and the same with Adam's fish. I mean,
10 to 12 cm, isn't it? That's a decent size fish.
Yeah, a year-old fish.
Me and Gaz looked at hundreds of your fish. We didn't see any sign of deformation or anything. And we would have noticed it if it had been there.
At the end of the day, if a customer's not happy with what we've got no issue. If someone's not happy with the fish for whatever reason, then we just refund them. It's not an issue.
Yeah.
But there's no way that they're going out deformed, because I say me and Carl inspect everything that's going out for this exact reason.
I can guarantee that.
Is this a recent thing, Tommy, or is this something?
Well, according to this, because I've got the comments on my tablet here. His last comment was at the time of receiving.
Yeah. I've got them up on the second monitor as well. So I was just wondering, is that something that's a recent thing, Tommy, or is that something that has been years gone by so that you couldn't really show anything? You haven't got anything that you can show us right now? If not, anyway, we're just to clarify, just to see what they were like at the stage when you got them. But I would have said me, mate. If it were me, 100%, what I would have done, I would have contacted Rick and said, "Look, I'm sorry, but
if you're not happy, I mean, obviously we get people that the quality isn't what they're expecting, or it's better than they're expecting, or whatever, you know. But deformed fish are just not. Yeah, the numbers of deformed fish are so slow. It's just not.
It's not what you want, is it? Anyway, it's not.
No,
It's not what
at the end of the day,
it's not an unhappy customer, is it? Really?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if a customer's got an issue, then obviously we're always there to deal with it, to find out what the issue is, and obviously to rectify, be it if the fish are turning up and they're not the types they were expecting, or the quality, or the size, or whatever. There's lots of different reasons. Some people are over the moon, or some people aren't happy. But at the end of the day, it's a phone call and it's easily solved. But to say that 25% weren't deformed is, So in a box of 20, there's 19 deformed fish.
No, not going to happen.
He's not. Bizarre. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we're there to deal with all these sort of issues or whatever. I was presuming he was talking about fry that had been reared on as fry.
That's what I thought.
That's what I was looking at. I mean, I've been raising fry, both from yourself, as you know, Ricky, for 8 years now, and for Adam Buyer as well. And whether I bought 2 to 3 inch or 2 to 3 week, or whether I bought 6 to 8 week, everything I've looked at that's come out of that bag has been fish shape. Anything after that is either genetic or something that I've fucking done.
Yeah.
Period. There's no other way of explaining it, because that is the only way you will get bent tails and stuff like that if you're not on the maintenance properly, or if you've got too strong a current in there. Slightest little bit of movement that's too strong will bend a fish. There's so many different factors.
That's a different ball game than the fryer. For the more experienced koi keeper, and then unfortunately it was become more and more. When we first started selling them, people used to put them in bigger ponds and whatever, and now it becomes more and more tank orientated, to the point of going into aquariums and such like, and your water quality issues are much greater in such a small volume of water. You've got to be bang on it. But the thing for Tommy to do is literally just pick up the phone tomorrow, phone us at the shop, and explain what the issue is. Like I say, our job is repeat customer. We repeat customer for everyone. That's what we want to do. So.
There you go, mate. Tommy, if you could do us a favour, give Rick a call tomorrow, have a chat with him, mate, and then fingers crossed, you get something sorted. 2 out of the 20, the rest were bifters, but it's. But I've moved on to Japanese fish now.
So if that's the case, why the?
Sounds like you're setting your sights extremely high. To say you've had the same from Adam as well. It seems.
Well, at the end of the day, mate, if you've moved on and you've changed, and you're just going to leave it, thanks very much. It will worth the content. If anybody else has any issues, now they know what they need to do. So it's raised.
Pick up the phone, be a man.
Else, but all the very best for your Japanese imports, then, mate.
I think the issue perhaps is it's the expectation. Obviously, the batches of 24 to 5s that we've got going out, like I say, they're 65 quid for a box of 20. And the photo is very clear as to what they are, so they're not the best fish in the world. They're 3 quid each. They're Matsubas, Ogons, that kind of stuff. There is very little in the way of Kahaku and Sankey in them. That's on the listing. That's what they are. That's why they're 65 quid for a box of 20. But they're not deformed. They might not be the prettiest fish in the world, but
They definitely won't be coming out deformed.
If you wanted better fish that are 20 quid each, then it's fine. They're there. We try and make everything as transparent as we possibly can in terms of what you're getting. We don't soup up photos. We use exact photos of exact batches of fish. But
you couldn't be any more fucking transparent, brother. To be totally honest,
you try. But at the end of even if someone brought them and wasn't happy, we still wouldn't have an issue. If there was an issue with the fish, there's an issue with the fish. But yeah, that's just part and parcel.
When you talk about transparency, I don't see any other koi breeders going on live shows telling people out there how they do things and why they do certain things.
Not yet.
You can't get no more fucking transparent than that, mate.
Well, then it's one of those hobbies, isn't it?
Let's not make it personal, because it doesn't need to go personal. And same with the comments in the chat as well, guys. We don't need to make it personal. This gentleman brought a question to it. We put the question to the panel. We'll put it to the New Forest. We'll leave it as it is. Rick's explained it. He's explained what he would like to do and what he's offering to do. Let's leave it as Tommy, who decided that he's going to leave it and he's not going to contact him. But in future, mate, that would have been my first port of call. But thank you very much, Ricky, for addressing it. As always, mate, there's always going to be some good and some bad, isn't there? And we can't have everything sitting here all week, every week, smelling of roses.
No, I think it's an honesty thing, isn't it? I've got an issue with it. We need some feedback from customers. So at the end of the day,
well, that's what this is for.
We need. It's just that's fine. If someone's not happy with them, that's I can't change that. But at the end of the day, they certainly ain't going out to form. Like I say, they might not be. Yeah, if the quality he was hoping for, but I think the price should have reflected what he was going to be getting. I don't know.
Yeah. Now then, well, that was a bit of a different one, wasn't it? The next one we've got, the next question that we've got, then, which we'll swiftly swerve and move on to, is from Mike at Koi Beginnings. And his question is, do people have feeding regimes, a plan for the year, quantity? Who's got going in background every fed?
Me, mate. It's people selling me stuff.
Okay, we're assessing what's popular. A plan for the year, quantity, times, growth, colour, balance, etc. So, are you guys who has a feeding regime and a plan for the year, quantity, times, growth, colour, balance, etc.?
Something to do with temperature for me.
Yeah, I'm with Ricky.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if they're under heat, if they're warm, whether they're under heat all through the summer, they're on a decent food with colour, growth to a point. We would say we don't really use a lot of growth food unless they're out on the farm, but it's all about keeping them looking right. So more colour consistently going into them to keep them as bright as we can.
Yeah.
Would you say you had a regime, Vince? A plan for the year?
I wouldn't say so much a regime, but I do have certain temperatures where I will only feed certain things.
Yeah.
I mean, once we're sitting at constant 18s without any drops in the evenings, I tend to start feeding a lot more of me insect feed as opposed to pellet.
15 to 18 degrees is okay for your silkworms, larvae, pupae.
Right. With the rate mine go through them, I tend to wait till they're at 18 degrees. I mean, the fight of some last year, my pond was going through them, kilo mealworms a week. And that was not including pellet and everything else that was going in there.
Wow.
So yeah, like Ricky says, for me, it's temperature derivative.
Temperature driven. What about the what is it side of things where he mentioned colour and growth?
I think the two go hand in hand, to be fair.
Colour and growth being fed at the same time. You can feed colour enhancing all year round then. Well,
pretty much, yeah. But through the winter, you're not feeding. If you're unheated and it's 5 or 6 degrees, you're not feeding a lot anyway. But if you're growing the fish, then if you're not giving them the colour enhancer, you're just going to stretch what colour they got and ruin. Yeah, you want to just build it continually. So if they're growing a lot and you're feeding them, you need to just build it all together. Otherwise you get a bigger fish that's not looking so good, wouldn't you? It's a balance.
There we go then. Daz, you're again. I'm going to say again. Same. Ed, what about yourself, mate?
I start off on 2 mil pellets until they get big enough, and after the tosi, I switch them to a balanced pellet that's got colour as well, colour enhancer. So as they start, I mean, as they start off, basically they're on like the fry foods, and then once I progress to the bigger pellets, the 3 mil pellets, it's got the colour enhancer in. And I don't seem to have any problems with the colours. The colours seem to be fine.
My Kahaku looks like it's dropping some colour off.
Is it?
Mm.
What, you getting rid of one?
Yeah. It's got a big patch on the front half of its body, which looks like it might be going to make a break across it, and it's fading back a bit.
It's not great.
No, it's not. But, no. But it's something I've noticed in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, when it happens fast with fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to become a lovely shuramuji.
Yeah, average favourite.
It don't matter what, to be completely fair, it don't matter what it becomes. At the end of the day, what I get from my son, so it'll always be whatever it is. But it makes me think I might want to bang some a little bit of colour enhancer in there and try to see if we can stop it from dropping off and think it can make a difference.
Give it some munga mix.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Munga mix. What about yourself, Ed? Anything you want to add to that, mate?
I'll just use aqua sauce, ultimate aqua sauce all year round, and I'll just use the colour boost with the aqua sauce.
Yeah. Simple.
I can feed below 8 degrees with the aqua sauce. I have fed them at 6 degrees before now.
Happy with it? Fish all happy with it?
Yeah, the new fish love it.
How do you find it with waste production, though, Aid? Because I've heard quite a few people say that they've had real bad waste issues with it.
What do you call by waste? It still comes out the one old, though, it. Whatever you feed them. You know what I mean? The more you feed them, more waste you're going to get, ain't it?
Yep, there is that. There is that, I suppose.
It's like us. If we eat loads of food, we're going to crap more, ain't we?
Yeah, different foods give a certain different amounts of waste. That's it. Yeah. That's kind of
definitely
where it's going, whatever. It's not a food I've used, so I don't. Yeah, I couldn't really comment either way. But
yeah, I'm quite happy with it.
If you're happy with it, and the fish are happy, and the wallet's happy.
Yeah, because some of the foods I used to use, that cheap and nasty stuff and that, used to leave a oil slick on the top of the pond. But this one, I don't get no oil slick or nothing.
No.
So I can cope with the waste. You know what I mean? So I ain't got a film on the pond.
Yeah. You get different foods do different things. But yeah, if it's good for you, it's good for the fish.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's in the middle of the road stuff, ain't it? Aqua sauce.
Yeah.
It's a dear and it's a cheap. It's in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There we go.
Right then. Next question from Peter Dalfall. Do clays work, and what's been the best for you? As it sinks, as it should be, just takes a little bit of movement, it's back in the water.
It depends on the type. We use different clays for different things.
We'll go with the question being as, do clays work, and what's been the best for you?
Yeah. The trouble is you get different clays from different parts of the world, and for different depends what you're using the clay for. So obviously we use clay slightly differently. We use some that we purposely for colour in the water to reduce the algae and absorb more radiation from the sun. So they're the types of clay that you probably dig out your own soil, out garden or whatever. Koi clays are designed to dissolve. So they're much more mineral content, but they dissolve in the water and obviously boost your minerals and such like that. Otherwise, the pond would start to lack. So yes, they're beneficial that side of it. We also use bentonite clays that you can buy to create like a substrate in the bottom of the pond to help with almost like a biofilter when they start kicking it over. So yeah, you wouldn't use the bentonite stuff that we use because it would clog your filter, and if it was on a filtered pond, it would be an absolute disaster. You need the type of clays like the Bacto Plus or Kasuri clays that basically you put a small amount in and it dissolves, and all the minerals, become part of the water column. They will actually clear the water. They absorb technically all sorts of ammonia, metals, and whatever, and the clay bonds stuff up a bit like zeolite does. And we can take out particles, so you can actually add clay, and it will go quite white, and the next day it's clearer than it's been for years. But other clays you can add, and it will colour the water, and it will just keep colouring the water every time it gets agitated. So, yeah, a proper koi one. The Bacta Plus one's pretty good, but it's expensive. It's about 30 quid for 2 kilos, and the bentonite clay we use, which is quite similar, is 30 quid for 25 kilos. So, but you couldn't use the normal bentonite clay in a normal koi pond because it would just gelatinous up your filter and make a right mess. So, yeah.
I've never ever used it until, well, actually, I don't know if this is technically a clay or not. Koi Master's Advantage.
Koi Master's Advantage isn't a clay. It's a water conditioner.
Well, water conditioner. It ain't conditioned my water all that good. All I can say is, my God, I did see the fish look vibrant. The colours on them were popping. But shit, man, my filter system clogged up. I put it in, within 4 to 5 hours, it was damn near gone. And my filters were clogged like hell. So, on that note for me, I won't be going to my pond ever again. Because I ain't doing that every time I put it in. I don't, like where it would have normally been a weekly water, I had to end up doing 2 to 3 and a good water change to get rid of it. So, but all the bottom of my pond now looks like I've just thrown in, what do they call it? Blanket answer, because it's just white, chalky everywhere.
Cloudy, yeah.
Yeah. But the fish did look nicer for it. I would say that much. They definitely did look brighter. The colours look nice and vibrant. But strangely enough, they look vibrant and colourful while it were in the water. Once it had been removed from the water, they just looked exactly the same again. So it was a short-lived process, but I don't know if it enhanced the colours just because the water was so murky that it made them look brighter. I don't know. But, I don't know. I don't think I'll use that particular one ever again anyway. But it clogged up my filter in no time. And Jack Martin were absolutely clogged to shit with it.
Yeah. It's got each product's got, again, its own. It depends what you're trying to achieve with the product, and the dose rates and whatever. So yeah, yes, they can work, and they do work for certain things. And if you've got a pond that's running for year after year with very little fresh water, then it will boost minerals and whatever. It will make the water look a lot better. Once a month, adding a dose of the proper clays, but
yeah.
I've
used millerite clay a couple of times. I think it was Kasuri, and that I did really clear the water and polish the water.
It fluctuates very well.
Yeah, it did. It just took all the sediment out of the water straight away. It's crystal clear overnight. I mean, I can't fault it for that, but is it necessary? No, I don't want to put it in anymore. It's an expense I don't really need.
Yeah, I've tried the NT Labs one. I've tried the Koi Masters Advantage, and yes, they do flocculate very, very well. And you do notice the difference next time you do your filters, how much dirtier they are after doing it. But other than that, I personally haven't seen a difference to the pond itself after doing it, other than the fact that the filters were dirtier, so it must have pulled some fines in. But other than that, no.
I go with that 100%. It definitely made my water look clearer. But with the Koi Master's advantage for me, my fish were going crazy, man. They did not like it at all. They were
saying on the phone, actually, yeah.
I was saying to you that my Yamabuka clean tail walked out of pond. Did not like it one bit, and it was bashing itself, jumping and trying to bite. But there were about 3 or 4 of them that did it. After about 20 minutes of it being in, then they all seemed to settle. But yeah, they weren't impressed. I don't think we're doing it again. Not with that particular brand, anyway. Bite yourself, Ed.
I've just started to use that Kyusuri clay.
What do you think?
I've just started using it the last couple of weeks. It seems all right. My pond's like crystal clear now.
Yeah.
Where I had like a tinge to it. Because it's a new pond, because I've had to restart again. But the water quality now, it seems getting like clearer with it.
So again, it's flocculating it all to get out, flocculant,
Yeah.
and gathering it all up and clearing your filter out. You notice a lot more waste in your filter as well using it?
Well, a bit more. The water's more dirty, because obviously the clay's getting all the crap out as well, ain't it, out the water.
So they do. So they technically they do work, but they have the pitfalls for some reasons. I mean, like my fish didn't particularly like it, but clogs up your filters a little bit more, so it's obviously pulling more crap out. So it does work in that sense, doesn't it? And I guess the minerals that are in there is what the fish need and require. So I mean, yeah, they do work. Then obviously they'll do the job. It's whether or not you want to use that expense or just do a fresh water change instead.
It's like I'm new to the game, so I'm just learning everything. So
well, I've never played with it before, Ed. Either I've never used it at all. That was my first time. But with the way that the 3 or 4 of them were thrashing around a bit, I was like, God damn, I need to get this out at one point. And we're talking to Vince when it were doing it. I said, like, it's literally tail walking from one end of pond to other, skimming across the water. He did not like it at all. But 20 minutes, half an hour, and it was right as rain. But we'll see.
No, my fish have been fine with it. It's like I put it in when I put Sunday night. By Monday night, it was clear. And I ain't got any filters out yet.
I will be getting some Bacto Plus clay, but it won't be going in me pond as a clay.
I know where it's going.
He's going to make food out of it.
Yeah, you put it with the food, it still ends up in the pond system anyway. So it's still it's just 2 for 1. But yeah, whichever. Do the job.
So that's that one. I think most people, for what you use it industry wise, Rick, you use it and you swear by it, and you know, good stuff.
Different, yeah, it's different type for different reasons.
Different scenario, yeah.
But yeah, we use it. Today I've been putting out loads of clay, loads of fish going out in ponds, especially the liner ponds. It just recreates the mud pond effect. Obviously not to the same level, but it just makes the water more stable, and yeah, it's a better environment for them. Certainly for the fry and whatever, they do like it.
Sweet. There we go. That answers that one. So the next one we've got then is Phil North. Have you talked about pond depth before? I think 3 to 5 foot is fine, and that length and width are more important. This is why is 6 foot seen as the golden standard? And you can save a lot of money by having a shallower pond, both in terms of construction and medication. So, what's your opinions on that one?
I think it's going back to the old. A lot of the pond depth used to be for overwintering fish. That's where a lot of that started. That in the old days, you dug a bit. The deeper your pond was, come winter, you shut your pumps down, you switched everything off, and the fish used to go and lay down the bottom in the warmer water while the pond froze and all the rest of it. I don't think it's totally. If you're running your system year round, like pretty much every koi pond does now, very few people shut them down. You don't need 6 foot. 4 foot's probably adequate. If you're going for really big fish, yeah, maybe 5 foot. But yeah, most of our ponds are 18 inches, 2 foot. They're not deep. You know, like I say, surface area for us is much more important.
Yeah.
But yeah, for your normal type garden pond, yeah, there's no reason to go beyond 5 foot really. You're not really gaining a lot. Like you say, it's just I've been to people's places, they've got 8 foot deep ponds, and then you got to try and get fish out, and it's just an absolute just an absolute nightmare. But that does harp on in literally 30 years ago, koi ponds, dig them deep, dig them big, switched everything off come November, and hopefully your fish are still alive in March when you switch everything back on. And kind of how it used to work.
Yes, definitely.
And it's just completely changed now. You keep everything running, you keep your filters live, and whether
the deeper it is, the harder it is to monitor your fish as well for knocks and bumps, and you do need to watch your fish in case there is anything that crops up. You can address it early.
Where windows help as well.
Steer them in shallower waters.
But like I say, my main pond right in the centre is about 4 3/4 foot big, and I know for a fact but when I do rebuild it, that will go down to 5.5. But it won't go no further than 5.5, and that is purely because I'm just trying to maximise for the footprint that I'm using. No other reason than that. I personally don't think the pond needs to be any deeper than 5.5 foot.
No.
You know, and I was always under the impression when you start going to the depths of 7, 8 foot, bigger fish don't like it. It upsets and fucks about with their swim bladder.
Yeah, it's pressure. Yeah.
I just think it's kind of just unnecessary. I mean, carp and koi, even in big lakes, will go down 20, 30 foot. No bother. I don't think that really is an issue for them. They'll go up and down through the water column wherever it's most comfortable temperature wise, or where the food is. But for your pond at home, gaining an extra, like say you want to gain an extra foot, but you're better off just put more filtration on it, and you kind of
I can't put any more fucking filtration on it. It's got enough as it is.
I don't, that extra foot's not really going to get. It's not really gaining. The amount of work you're going to have to do to get an extra foot of water is,
There you go, Vince. That's just saying.
Yeah.
An extra foot is just further to fall in, mate. That's all.
Don't you go there.
I see a lot of pike
Well,
fish.
look, you guys, like you and Dad, you got to remember if it's too deep, you ain't getting out.
Yeah. We're going to pump 3/4 of it out before you can even get in.
All you need is a life inside of it.
You forget, Daz is smaller than I am.
Exactly. That's why Daz goes to 4 foot. I mean, but you go to 5 foot. I mean, that's over your head too.
Oh, that's low.
What do you reckon, Ed? What's yours at, mate?
Mine's at 4 foot.
4 foot.
Because it was 3 foot. Well, just over 3 foot. Then I just raised it this year and put some glass in it. So I've gone up because I've got a small garden, so I can't go bigger or wider. So I had to go up. So I'm off at pond sitting at 4 foot 4 inches, I think now height.
Yeah, that's ideal. It's plenty.
So again.
That's plenty depth, isn't it? You've done the simple thing. You've just come up a layer of blocks or whatever, and
Just put an extra set of sleepers on top.
Yeah.
Mine's all going to depend on Daz. It's just how far he wants to keep digging.
Yeah.
It depends, Daz. If we get down to anything when it starts with all that Yorkshire stone at bottom of it again, when we start whacking into that hard stuff, and that's it. That's as deep as it is.
No. That's what the concrete breaks.
Oh no, we've got a new toy to play with, haven't we?
You just got to make sure you've got a step ladder for him to get out.
Yeah.
Well, there is that.
Like a swimming pool at one end, there'll be ladders to get in and out.
Over that, we're making some stilts.
We've got some rope and we can tie gorilla tubs onto it. I can winch it out. But man, ideally, I would like to take mine down from what it is down another foot.
Yeah,
it's a 32 inch now. I'd like to go to about 42 inch if I could. Maybe another 10 inch or so. But I'm not bothered one way or other. It's been as deep as it is. Put some length on it, and I personally kind of agree. Like what you were saying, Rick. It's the length. They've grown as much as they're probably going to grow in that pond, and if we can get them a bit more length, so they can do some, decent swimming up and down, get a bit of exercise, and get them feeding a bit more hungrier, get them, hopefully get a bit more size on them. But I don't want monster fish. I'd rather have, I mean, I would like, if I end up with monster size fish, I'm going to end up with like 2 or 3, and I don't like
it says that now.
I always says that I've never bothered with monster fish. It doesn't interest me. But when you get a big fish,
wait till you get one in your pond, and then you're like, I want them all that size.
It's addictive, yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Well, I've got this. Everybody knows there's quite a lot of fish in my pond, but I'd like to see them all 40, 50 cm. Yeah. But if they all start getting above that, half of them's got to go.
Be no room left, would there? They'd be climbing over each other.
I've added 4 from the growing on tank to the main pond today. 2 of them I ain't going to see until I get any fucking bigger, because they're Ricky's metallic achiever. Then yeah, you're never going to fucking see them until they're about this size now, at least.
The thing is, though, Vince, they don't take long. You get them growing pretty damn quick, don't you? The lemon arawaki that you've got in there, well, it's not lemon arawaki anymore, is it? But it was originally. That now is a big fish, isn't it? That's 40 plus, isn't it?
That is. I'm going to measure them all tomorrow, but when I measured them in November, that was sitting at 45 cm, and it only turns 2 around this time now.
No.
You know what I mean, yeah.
Sorry. Right. Well, just to we've got one more question from Facebook, from the post that we've had on Facebook. In fact, no, sorry, there's 2. There's Lisa's as well. One from Jeff Harfield and one from Lisa. But there is something I want to bring up, guys. Now, the other couple of weeks ago, Mick Lawson, and I know I haven't gone through all the comments, guys, but I think sometimes it's just as nice to sit and have a chat and have a natter before we move on to a different topic or whatever, and just go through some of the questions that's been put in. But what we did a couple of weeks ago is we gave away a ticket, and the ticket was to the Secret Anchor, and it was Rye that won it. And unfortunately, due to work commitments, his boss has changed his shift, and he sent me a message today saying, I can't make it, guys, I can't get there. So
that's it.
I have a free ticket, and if anybody is interested, I'm going to do a spinner wheel on it, but redraw it. But it's Rye. Technically it was Mick. Mick gave it to Rye. Now Rye's giving it back to the community for somebody else to make use of it rather than it go to waste. So if you guys are interested and you would like me to do a spin the wheel, stick your names in, and we will do the usual thing.
I was chatting with Steve from Koi Talk today, and really looking forward to Sunday.
Yeah, I am. I can't wait. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really interesting. But we don't want anything for it, guys. If I may have a lift. If you're going to win it, mate. But I'm not doing taxes for nobody, mate. I'm taking myself and I'm doing it and going there. But what I will do is, if you win it, mate, we'll sort something out. You could pick me up. How about that? But yeah, you've got to win it first, mate. But you're more than welcome to enter into it if you wish. If anybody's interested and everybody else wants to have a go, then I will do. And I will give you guys a topic that you can have a chat about and a talk about while I put all these in. Where is it at, Johnny? It is at Newark
Showground.
Newark Showground. It will cost 25p. It will. If everybody's wondering what that is, it's Dave's coffee. It's really nice. 25 pence at work.
Oh, Pinko.
Yeah.
Pinko, mate. Yeah, Pinko. But stick your names in. You want in on the ticket, or just put in ticket, and then I can add you in.
Pinko Baldrick.
Oh, sorry, Lisa. We just got a ticket yesterday, right? Let me find a random comic picker.
Oh, does that mean Nick's going to be there Sunday?
No, Mick gave the ticket.
No, I said, does that mean Nick?
Yes. Yeah, it sounds, yeah. Lisa and Nick might be there, both of them. Bookmarks.
Sweet.
He was after tickets the other night, weren't he? On Koi Talk. I don't know if he's got any.
But I'll give you
any tickets left.
Because
there was some left. Crafty said last night there was some left or something. He's told him to go over onto his Facebook page, I think.
Yeah, they're 25 quid. Gas is free.
This one's for free. Right. Lisa Leach's topic is sleeping sickness. There's one I think that would be a good topic, as last year we witnessed it and we've never had it before, to make others aware of it, and it's not been already discussed. That's if it's not already been discussed. Now, I don't know if we have talked about sleeping core disease, but if you guys would like to have a chat about that while I continue.
I honestly couldn't tell you a thing about it because I don't know anything about it. So
no, I got a Scooby-Doo.
Best person to ask would be this one down here.
Yeah, I've experienced it last year in the winter time. I had about 3 fish. They were struggling to swim upright, and then they started laying on the side on the bottom in the pond. And funnily enough, they're all Yoshigoi fish. So I took them out of the pond, put them in the tunnel, and after 2 or 3 days, there was rice as rain. But I kept them in the tunnel for the rest of the winter, and then put them back in the pond in the spring when it warmed up. But I can only assume that the Yoshigoi fish haven't been exposed to sleeping sickness, and some of them are Japanese fish in the pond must have passed it on to them. Would you say that? Right.
100%. Yeah, we see it. Yeah, not that regular, but you used to see it a lot more. A lot of the Japanese farms, they expose the tozai in the autumn to older fish in the concrete ponds to it. So they pick up the sleeping sickness, a viral problem. And if you manage it right, you should basically have 0 losses. I mean, it's something that it will cause big problems, especially with a pond of tozai if you can't control the temperature, the salt level. But yeah, so they expose them. They purposely bring them in to the greenhouses, put them in with some older fish. The whole lot go down with sleep, and it happens really fast. I mean, it's unbelievably quick. They'll within 24, 48 hours, the entire bunch will literally just lay down and look like they're going to sleep. And if you just bring the temperature up, high 20s, bring the salt up, they then just come round, they're fine, and they've got an immunity to it. But then you get that sort of pass-on effect that sometimes you'll move fish in a stressful environment, like you say, we'll put fish that have not seen it, that are naive to it, and it will trigger it again. And normally in the new fish, they'll start laying down, and it's one of those problems that used to see a huge amount of the fish that come in from Israel, where they were coming in from a very hot climate. They were chilled, shipped, and into a cold climate, and then they would pick up or go down with sleeping sickness. And they were in an environment where people then couldn't warm them up. So they'd sit there, you go into dealers, and there'd be vats of fish all just laying on the bottom. And yeah, they need the temperature and the salt really to get their immune system going to get over it. Some varieties, almost your Makashiogons, ghosties, chagoi, shishuis, literally they might have 1 day of sat on the bottom and then they're up and right as rain. Sankey, Showa, Kahaku might take you 10 days to completely get them sorted. It's just a genetic strength. It's the same with virtually every health issue, that the more closer they are to the normal carp, or the less inbred they are, the stronger they are, but kind of less desirable they are, isn't it? So you're always going down that line. But it's when it's in a situation you can control it, it's not a problem. It's not, a lot of the Japanese farms, a lot of people that deal with koi a lot, it's just sleeping sickness. Just bang the salt in, temperature up, they're fine. But to a hobbyist, it happens in your pond, and in a period where you've got no temperature control, you with young fish, you can have a lot of casualties from it. It will progress, and also if they haven't got the temperature to get their immune system up, and they're all laying on the bottom, it just triggers not just that. You then have all the other issues with the fish all clumped up, sat together, and it can be, like I say, in a hobbyist pond, it can be a real headache, and technically cause mortalities. It comes down to quarantine. If you've got quarantine facilities, you shouldn't see it. You shouldn't see it in the warmer months. It tends to happen that when fish are stressed and move into a new environment, that's when you always tend to see it. Anyone that imports Jap stuff would probably see it a lot more, because you got some farms that expose their fish to it, and other farms that don't have a problem with it and don't expose their fish to it, and then they come back and get mixed together or whatever, and then you've trigger it in one lot or the other lot, so you've got to deal with it. That's again the same. If you've got Yoshigoi fish that have not seen it, or fish from ourselves or fish from Adam, one lot might have done, one lot might not have done, and as soon as they come together, which is the whole point of the quarantine, when if you can not just quarantine fish but mix fish from your pond, your sacrificial fish as we call it, in the tank, you'll get to see if there's that reaction. Because obviously if fish have had sleeping sickness and have got over it and they're fine, but they're stressed and they're still shedding the virus, and you input them into your pond, they might be fine in your quarantine tank, put them in your pond, and suddenly the next day all the fish in your pond are suddenly suffering because they've not seen it. So quarantine doesn't just mean keep them separate until you're happy. Realistically, at that point, you need to mix fish up to see if you're going to get a reaction.
Definitely.
And ideally, the fish you mix with them is not going to be a ghosty or a mirror carp or something that's bulletproof and not going to react anyway. So, there's no surefire with it.
I've got some of my homebred English fish in there as well, and I fully expected those to go down with it, and they didn't.
Right.
But then again, they were varieties like Chagoi and Benigoi, so maybe they were a bit more robust.
Either they've already seen it, or because if they'd have been in self-spawn ones and been in with your older fish, they might have already seen it and got an immunity to it. Or they're just varieties that are robust enough not to deal with it, to just carry on as normal. So it's certainly the Go Sankey varieties are the worst for it. And obviously when you move a whole pond of Tosa, you might say you move 1,000 Sankeys into an environment and they go down with sleeping sickness, they go down as 1,000 fish. And that's when you as a farm or whatever, that's the critical time that you can deal with that. If you're in an environment where you can't bring the temperature up and you can't treat them, then you're going to end up with a lot of mortalities. So tricky, but part and parcel with koi keeping. And unfortunately, it's because it's not seen as a real health problem or a dangerous problem. It's not. Whereas like KHV and stuff, they check for, that's not present. Bacterial problems that show ulcers and whatever, that they haven't got it. But something like sleeping sickness, where it's a bit blasé to a lot of breeders, it's there, it's on the farm, just get them over it, they're fine. Those fish are fine, but then they're going to go somewhere and perhaps meet other fish that aren't fine. And depending on that, where they're mixed and how they're handled, will depend on the outcome of it. We used to have when we first started breeding 25 years ago, 30 years ago, we'd do certain varieties. Oh, this is all going fine. Then we'll move 1,000 Sankeys into a pond with a load of Shishuis and what have you. And it's like, well, hang on. There's 1,000 Sankeys led on the bottom and everything else is swimming around feeding. What is going on? And the information wasn't there. It's like, alarm bells ringing, what's going on. And the information to, had we known then, just warm them up and bring the salt up.
Yeah.
And suddenly they're right as rain. But yeah, so you sit there and you sort of scraping and do water checks and all the rest of it. It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
I do see that in the corner there. It does look a bit like.
Yeah, I thought that. I didn't like to say it, but phallic symbol.
I was over there. Look. You know what it is?
Sorry, you'd not believe the right. These lot bought me a coffee cup.
You haven't got a big fucking wooden schlong hanging from the fucking water, have you?
It's a long wooden mask, but it does look. It does look pretty bad with the bits underneath.
These lot bought me a coffee cup, and the coffee cups, it's black. It's a pure black cup until you fill it with a hot drink. And let's just say it's a well-endowed gentleman that's on said cup once it opens. And then Mike's just said, "Is that a cup of coffee in the background there, guys?" Because we were laughing and joking about it today, and he just brought up.
It's pretty well.
Just to explain why you were asking.
That's his goggles, look.
Ah, dear me.
They are goggles.
Looked a little bit slightly different when it was placed just in that right position there.
Yeah.
Got it just right, didn't I?
Oh,
I just keep it in the corner there.
Right, just to double check and just a quick check through. At present, I think I've got MJH Coy, Amanda Smith, DT Coy, Wills Coy, Johnny, John Barlett, Simon Shears, Carlos C, Peter, Fenland Lass, and Paul Audley. Is there anybody else that would like in on said free gift, which is a ticket to the Secret Sanka, so it can get used rather than being wasted? You need to be available. You'll need to be there for 10 o'clock on Sunday, and you'll need to make your own way there. But I will send you, whoever it is that wins, I will send you over the ticket information, and all you need to do is present that on the door when you walk in. So it's a gift from Mick Lawson, which was won by Rye. Rye can't go because of his work commitments. So if anybody else is interested, let me know, and I'll stick you in on it. So, as you were, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Well, we've got another little topic that we can discuss and talk about then. Pond bombs and off-the-shelf bacteria, as in good bacteria, friendly bacteria for your filler systems. Do they work?
Good ones do. Yeah.
I think personally, for me, my take on this is, if you think you're adding bacteria, you're adding food for the bacteria in there so that they can colonize, multiply, and expand and duplicate themselves. I think it's more the stuff that the bacteria requires so that there's a good source of it there for them to do the colonizing that they need to do. I don't think you're actually adding bacteria, because it's my understanding that it needs to be kept at a certain temperature. And when it's in your shop at a certain degrees, let's say shop's 25, 30 degrees, in shop on a red hot sunny day, that bacteria is definitely dead.
Yeah, no, some of the products are live bacteria.
Yeah.
You do some of the better ones.
What's that bottle of that stinks proper?
That red stuff. Oh,
yeah, the red
That's
stuff.
the Bactoplast one.
Bactoplast, the red one. The problem is that's
live, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a live product. But you're much better off if you've got mature filter from somewhere else. If you can, that's much better because it's already colonized. The problem is trying to get the bacteria from the bottle to colonize your K1 or whatever before it passes through a UV and everything else is kind of the issue. So, and that's where the old school filter sponges and such like that trap stuff are much easier to mature. You can put the bacteria, it kind of gets trapped in there and colonizes.
PBS, that's the one, isn't it? Cheers, mate.
So, yeah, there is good products out. Some of them are literally just like you say, something to give the bacteria some extra food. But at the end of the day, the ammonia in your pond is the food for them anyway. So it's
but it's like Well, that's what I've been led to believe, that like your pond bombs, it's more of a.
Must have been about a year or so. I was given some of the EA pond balls, the small ones.
Yeah, I've used those.
By me dad, and I chucked them into my bio bin. And when I rebuilt my bio bin, I actually found loads and loads of EA pond balls that hadn't done anything.
They were waiting to explode.
At all, period. And they must have been in there for a good year and a half.
Yeah.
And hadn't deteriorated. So how is that putting any beneficial bacteria into my pond if they're still the same a year and a half later?
Well, I've used those, Vince, and when I've gone to clean my filter out, they've shrunk right down, smaller than the size of a pea. They're just like dissolved right down tiny. So they must do something. Maybe it's temperature, or I don't know.
I think a lot of the problems is everyone, or a lot of people have moved over to K1 or the plastic medias, and as effective as they are, they're a real pig to mature, because the bacteria doesn't want to adhere to those moving bed type filters. So you almost want, if you can't get old K1, or a lot of people used to get brand new K1 and put it in a real strong potassium dip to damage the plastic, to then make it easier for the bacteria to adhere to, or you make the fluid bed static to trap rubbish for a period to help it mature. We see it all the time. People with those kind of filters take months and months to get get them to mature, whereas people with old school sponge type filters and alpha grog and all the types that naturally trap the bacteria and trap rubbish, they just mature so much faster. They're just not as easy to use in a lot of more modern filtration or whatever. So if you can get mature K1 from somewhere, or if you can run some, if you know you're going to build a second pond, or you're going to have a quarantine set up and you're going to put a new filter in, something where you can mature stuff up and get it. K1 when it's mature is a dirty brown. You can just see it. And it doesn't want to try and float out the tank, and it's one of those. And all of those plastic medias are like it. Bacteria doesn't naturally want to it just can't stick to it very easily. It starts to build up on it, sloughs off, and washes through to your UV or whatever, and it's gone again. So it's trapping on a new pond. You almost want to trap a lot of debris and rubbish to start with somewhere, so you can just build that colony up, and then worry about cleanliness and moving bed filters as things have matured on a bit. But a lot of the products some of them do work, like the Back to Pro one or whatever, the red stuff, that stinky red, that's a live bacteria, and it does work, but it doesn't colonize the filter very easily. So you could pour it in your pond and it instantly starts to reduce the ammonia, but that then bacteria flushes through your system, and unless it colonizes somewhere, you're going to end up sterilizing it with a UV, or it's got its place. If you add in a load of fish to a system and you need to deal with it, as does Z-Lite. That doesn't. I don't really hear of that very much anymore, but that's phenomenal for quickly removing ammonia from a pond or a setup.
You can reuse it as well. You can reuse it as well, can't you? So
we use it. We use it loads in the fry tanks because they're not run on filtration, because of when they're just a pain in the ass to run filters when you've got minuscule fry. So we literally will put bags and bags of Z-Lite into the ponds to absorb all, because when they hatch they release so much waste. So we use that absorb. So as they hatch, we literally take that waste out of Z-Lite, take the Z-Lite out, dump it in some salt, and you immediately have a much cleaner environment again. So everything we do is trying to keep the water as good as we can without actually running it through a normal filtration system, because pumps and fry aren't best friends.
Nightmare.
They're once it's 2 weeks old or whatever, it's a different game. But that first couple of weeks, they are,
Yeah.
Static ponds is best, but keeping the water good. So you got to find what works. But
yeah.
There we go. I mean, that's a pretty in-depth answer for everybody there on that one.
Yeah. No, I can't remember what the question was.
Do pond bombs and off-the-shelf bacteria, do they work?
The right one, yeah. The
right ones,
some do, some don't.
Read reviews on them. Read what's in them. Make sure they're not just, like you say, additives to encourage bacteria or coat fill, the media and such like.
About the filter gel, that bluey stuff.
Yeah, that's to coat the K1 to give the bacteria something to grow on and start colonizing. So yes, in the right environment, but again, it probably works better if it's in a moving bed filter. Stop the moving and have it static for a period, so it can all have a chance to get all over it and get mature up a bit.
Because I've just started my pond off again, and I've been putting that in over the last fortnight, the blue stuff and the pink stuff.
Is it a moving bed? What's it, a Nexus or a moving bed filter?
Yeah, Nexus. It's a Nexus I've got. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes the Nexus, if you can, the K1 always wants to sort of try and climb out to start with and whatever, doesn't it? So if you can...
Oh, no, it's old media in there, because I've had a lot of issues with my pond, so I've had to kick everything off again.
Right. So it should mature much faster anyway, because the K1's going to have damage on it and an easier time clearing up, so it should be fine.
Great, very good. Quick question there for you, Daz. One for Daz. When I drop my water, when I'm cleaning my filters, I dropped it on the lawn beds and pots. But up to 2 years, I've PP, FMG, flukes and salted the pond. Can that kill your grass and plants?
The salt will.
If it's a high concentration, but if it's, I wouldn't have thought at your normal diluted rate, it will be strong enough to do any real damage.
What you need to ask yourself is, Tokyo One, is it still green? If it's still green, then no. If it's not, then yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's normally pretty quick with grass, isn't it? If it's something that's chemical wise, it normally shows within first 48 hours.
Salt will show within 24 hours normally. Yeah. Just go white or yellow and it'll just burn it. But I would say it's more beneficial for your garden or the crap and stuff in your pond water. The nitrogen and everything in it. Yeah. Do your garden good.
Right.
But you need a huge amount of salt to make a difference to the grass. Your fish should be dead long before the grass.
To be fair, my main unit where I grow my chilies, I have to normally, because I put the TOSA in there in the autumn and put the salt level up to 0.6, it has to be water changed back out because the chilies won't tolerate anything like that. So I've got my chilies waiting to go in, but I can't actually put them in because the salt level's too high. It's down to about 0.3, and that's still too high for chilies and the chilies make water so much better.
Do you grow them hydroponically then, your chilies?
Yeah, I just have a pump on a time clock in the filter that just feeds a whole row of baskets across the side of the pond. So the water just feeds through the plants and back to the pond. But yeah, the salt level's got to be down to about 0.15. Otherwise, the chilies just won't tolerate it.
No.
But when the chilies are growing, the water quality in the fish they're booming. They love it. But it's
if you watch the Mega Munga Mix video, that's the tunnel that he's on about. And if you actually look down the left-hand side, you will see rows and rows of pots. Yeah. That's where the chilies get planted.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you like chilies then?
Yeah. Get through a lot of chilies.
God, I hate the bloody things. Ruin a perfectly good meal, chilies do.
Yeah, you does, but they make perfectly good fucking filtration.
Yeah.
They're a good crop because we used to do tomatoes are brilliant, but you have to, if you don't take the side shoots out and stuff, they just become a jungle.
Yeah. Oh,
Because I don't get along there, I don't touch them. So the chilies will look after themselves, grow, crop, and you just got to go at the end of the year and harvest a few thousand chilies. Whereas,
do you dry them?
Yeah, dry and make sauces, chutneys, all sorts. It's just banging. But any other crop, it takes work. Where chilies are just easy. You can put them in and just leave them, literally. They don't like to be too wet, which is why it's on a time clock. And it just floods the baskets every 5 minutes of every hour. That water trickles back through to the pond. Yeah. And they go absolutely mad.
Right.
Quick, simple little question for you then, gentlemen. What age would you call an old fish?
Depends on what temperature it's being kept at.
Ah, not so simple. Yes. Right. Well, let's for the gentleman who asked, which is Johnny. What age would you call an old fish?
I would say anything over 10 years, but in my book, would be considered old.
But you say that though, Daz. 10 years. A fish can be 10 years way before it's 10 years.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's how many days, isn't it?
Degree days, yeah.
Degree days, that's it.
Yeah, realistically, probably a 20-year-old fish is kept in unheated conditions is old or getting, mature, should we say. But yeah, back along the All Japan champion now, generally they're sort of 6-7-year-old fish. But, years ago, there used to be 12, 15-year-old fish winning the All Japan because they were grown slower, cooler, and obviously matured and developed longer. But in our country, really, anything over 20 years are generally really starting to show the qualities on the downward spiral. But yeah, I've been to people's ponds where they got fish that are sort of 45, 50-year-old fish. Some of the very first koi imported when they invented the bags to import them in. And those fish are still probably 18, 20-inch fish that perfectly happy. Yeah, they look quite old, but yeah, they could probably go on for another 20 years. They're probably at their best at 5 or 6 years old and never went on from there. But realistically, 20-year-old fish is pretty old. Most koi at 10 years old are past their best, to be fair, just because of the way the breeding's done. Everything's more rushed these days. They grow faster, you finish them faster. Patience is something that's kind of lost.
Forced, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's not forced. It's just the environment they're given is geared to be better for conditioning them to grow them bigger, faster, better, quicker, and that's just kind of everything in the world's gone like that. That's just
it's the same in the plant industry. Most of that stuff's forced now. It's growing way faster than it should be.
Is it best then to let your fish just growing and surviving cold water, like not eating ponds so much, or just letting grow natural?
It's not. No, I wouldn't say that's best. I just say that's their age depends on the temperature. So if you wanted if you want to mature a fish to breed from it, as we do with some of ours, then the hotter we keep them, the better. The quicker we can spawn from them, the quicker we can use them, the quicker we can get that bloodline going. If you want a fish to live in an ideal world, you keep it hot for maybe 3 or 4 years to get it big and looking good, and then you keep it cold for the next 20 years to keep it looking good for 20 years.
I agree with that totally.
But in the real world, it's most people ponds are whatever temperature God throws at us, and in this country, it's generally 2 weeks of sunshine and 50 weeks of not so much.
Yeah.
But if you live in Vietnam or Thailand and you keep koi, it's a totally different world. You're spending half your life trying to keep the pond cooler because your temperature's 30 degrees plus all the time, which they'll grow. They'll go, they'll grow, they'll develop really, really quickly, and then look very old very quickly, and it's just accelerated. It's not. Yeah, it's not
live fast, die young.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just natural. And if you live in a country where the water temperature is 30 degrees year round, then you accept that koi are quite short-lived, very quick turnover fish. You buy them, you enjoy them for 2 or 3 years, then they're gone again because you've got to get rid of them because they've gone downhill. Whereas in this country, or if you live in North America or Canada or wherever, where it's temperatures and you're not heating, you could develop a fish for 15 years to get it to its peak. You know, you could take your time and enjoy it. But who spends 15 years anymore doing anything? I don't.
Yeah.
There you go, mate. It's a slightly more complicated question than what it really sounds, but that's that. Well, this is for me, mate. This is, I think, it's brilliant because obviously, maybe the gentleman missed it in the past, but last time it was discussed. But I didn't know that, and if I could come away from learning something, that's what this is all about. And if somebody else picks something up and learns something from it, that's, you know, it's educating people. So yeah, there you go, mate. There's your answer to that one. Yeah.
Every day's a skill day.
100%, mate. Right. Before I go any further, hopefully, if you're still on England Navy, I removed your comment, mate, because I'm not going down those lines. The reason being is, well, one, he's not here to defend himself should somebody start saying something one way or the other. And if you want to know if they're any good, I suggest you go check them out and have a look, mate. Next one is, we're going to do this quick draw, as it's now getting less and less people involved in it. So if nobody else wants in, then I need to take John Bartlett off.
Evening, Stubbsy.
I'm just putting Ez to bed.
Okay.
Be back in 5. Maybe.
John Bartlett wants to come off. Take me off, please. Okay. Well, there you go. Before we know it,
quick, spin the wheel.
This is going to be a quick knockout. Right. Is everybody else happy and wants to be in still as it is? If it is, here we go. Right. We're just going to do a knockout. So.
Have you got Andy's koi puddle in there?
Andy's koi puddle? No. I don't think Andy's koi puddle was there.
Well, in the comments, he said, I've asked to be in twice now, Gaz.
Oh, right. Well, hang about. Close that. Andy's koi puddle. There we go. And we'll spin it again then. There you go, mate. Sorry, I missed it, bud. There we go. So that's replace one. So here we go. We'll do it again as a random knockout. We're going to keep going until last man stands. Sorry about that, fail and last. That's you out. Paul, unfortunately, mate, that's you out. Who's going to get it?
The old logo wheel just definitely looks bad, doesn't it?
It does, mate, yeah. Oh, Amanda Smith, sorry.
Yeah, then Gahaku put some weight on. They look like they're full of spawn.
Yeah, you see colours fading a bit in the same place as well. MJH, Koi, sorry, mate. So that leaves Carlos. Andy's Koi puddle. Watch Andy winning now. And Peter. Last man stand. Well, last men standing. Oh, sorry, Andy. There's either going to be Peter or Carlos. Last one remaining is going to get it. And then all you need to do is just drop me a text. Send me a message on Facebook Messenger and I'll forward you the ticket. And that is Peter. Congratulations, Peter. You are the lucky winner of the ticket for Sunday's Secret Santa. Drop me a text, mate, or send me a message on Facebook Messenger or in the Facebook group, and I will forward that ticket on to you. You were close, Andy. Sorry, mate. No cigar. That's that. Stop sharing. Right. We lost two. And then there were three. Right, Ed. Well, seeing as though we've got you here, bud, and you're on with us, let's at least do you the honours, mate, of sharing your channel so that everybody out there can swing by.
What?
Is this the bit now when I'm going to find out that I might not be, I might not be a subscriber, which means that's what I'm doing to yourself. It's the koi keeper. So that's one up, mate.
Got.
And the bell rung. And we're going to do, if you could all do us a huge favour, guys. There is the link to Aid's channel. There's 534 subscribers and 57 videos, so there's plenty for you to be having a look at and plenty for you to have a watch of. If you could do us a huge favour, swing by, give him a little bit of support, and actually give him a couple of thumbs up. Aid, what do you think of the mug? Question from DT Koi.
Yeah, I've got it. Scrag gave it me the other day when I went.
Yeah, your logo needs to go on the front, not the foot. It's just.
Yeah, you can't hang it, can you, Vince?
No, you can't.
Do us a favour, guys. Check his channel out. Give him a sub. Appreciate it, mate. There we go. That's one. Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. Well, I should have stayed on, man. I could have. Could give you a refresh and seeing if we got you up a few.
Well, Stubbsy's in the chat. Why don't he come on and join us? I mean, he can tell us about his pond build he's doing.
Yeah. Come on, Chris. Top of the comments, Chris. Feel free to jump on, mate, if you wish. That'd be nice to have a chat, see how you're going. That looks like some hard ground, mate. We'll watch your video over there. Don't think that's some hard ground, is that?
Yeah, the thing is, he's got all his mates doing the digging, though, ain't he?
Yeah, but it's still braver than me, mate. You won't be getting me in that pond temperature at 1 degree. No thanks. No way. That's
mind you, he was the one that was stood there in a t-shirt at 3 degrees saying this is springtime.
The other dude in shorts as well. I'm thinking, are you mad? You catch hypothermia doing that. Feel free to join us if you want, Chris. There's a link at the top of the comments. Just feel free to get in touch. And the other thing we've got still to bring up this evening is
Asagi.
The Asagi evening.
Asagi.
So all the Asagi pictures. Now, what I have done, can't today just head into the shower. I do lots of digging. I just had to film. There we go, mate. Never not. You get yourself a nice hot shower or a nice hot bath and a chill out and a relax, mate. I'll be an hard graft that. Right. We have. I'm sure we had another question. Do we have another question? Well, we did have, but we got removed. So, has anybody else got any questions that they would like to ask the panel? If not, we'll go through a few of the comments. Pablo Carr says, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us, Anthony. Or Tony, should I say? Hope you're good.
How's the fry doing, Tony?
2 new additions to my pond today. Managed to get to, oh, yes. What did you get, Carol? Or do you want to keep it a secret for your channel?
Evening, Carol.
Top comment, but I'm hoping she got some nice. Well, she will have got some nice fish because they come from George's place, so I can definitely say they'll be good quality. That is for sure. Some lovely fish. I'm well happy with my showers that I got from him. Well happy with what I've seen so far from people in the growing show. And if any of you guys out there are watching, that's part of my growing show. Could you all do me a huge favour? Bowl up your fish, measure up your fish, and let's have a bit of a progress update because next Thursday night, I would like to do a quick, progress report on the live so people can see how the fish are doing, what the progresses are. Have we any other topics, gentlemen, that you would like to discuss yourself this evening?
Well, I got one thing because I'm not going to be here Sunday because I'm going to be at the Secret Sankey event. I have one redraw that needs doing for the pom-pom tree kit.
Do we need? Oh, yes, there we go. Good, Matt. I'm just going to say, do I need to do another spinning wheel and type out?
No,
6
no. I'm just going to shake the pot and pick out a name. And this hasn't. It's the first time this has been open since I did the draw last Sunday. So, Dave's Fish Emporium.
Hold on, Dave.
So thank you to Scrag, because Scrag was the one that wasn't able to come and collect the prize, and Scrag 68 was the one that said to redraw it. So there you go, Dave's Fish Emporium. Send me an email. Send me a comment on one of my videos, and I'll give you my email address, and we'll go from there. If Dave doesn't get back to me by the time next week, we'll redraw it again. Hopefully, we won't have to redraw it again.
Are these cloud trees? These some you've done yourself, then, Vince?
Yeah. I mean, that one in the front garden, it's coming on 7 or 8 years old now.
Yeah. What did you use?
It literally started with a £2.99 gold crest from Morrison's.
Yeah.
And it is what it is now. It's my ball that I enjoy trimming.
They do look very, very effective.
Oh yeah, but it's like a decent shower or a decent shiro. It takes time and patience.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, being a gardener like you are and a landscaper. I thought you'd have been doing a few of them as it was part
you
of
mentioned
your
the magic word, Vince. Time.
Yeah.
I ain't got none. The fish take all my time.
I'm going.
I'm
Naz
going.
is going. Vince is going.
Ricky's
Rick's
going.
Oh,
Vicky
where
from
am I going?
Fins is going.
Yeah, Ricky's going.
Aaron from Humbercoy is going.
Rocket Boy will be there.
Lad's going as well.
Dave's going. And Andy's son, sorry. Yeah. We've got 8 or 9 of us. Is somebody else going with you, Vince?
You got me and Dave.
You and Dave, yeah. Yeah. So there's about 8 of us going. We're all going to be meeting up there.
I don't know if Ricky's coming on his own or if he's bringing someone with him.
I'm supposed to be coming with someone, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Time, innit? Sunday bank holiday weekend, mate.
Yeah, there is that.
Yes.
So hopefully Carl will be coming with you.
Alan's going.
Yeah, right. Alan will be there.
I can't wait to meet Alan in the flesh.
Me neither, mate.
Yeah.
Me neither. I'm just going to walk around with a camera in his face, recording everything he says all day. I'm going to use it as a replay.
See who swears the most, me or Alan Tate.
Who's going
I reckon you'll win that one. Tony's going.
Cool.
There's quite a lot of people going. So, well, in fact, I don't know if they've. Do you know if you need a ticket? You do definitely need a ticket, yeah. It's a ticket event. If you're going as a couple, you needed to buy 2 tickets. So if you ain't got 2 tickets, you better go see if you can pick one up quick.
Or leave the missus at the door.
Quick question for Alan. Do you charge for selfies?
You've given him the idea now. Oh,
join the secret Sankey. Are you not going? Are you not joining us? You're not coming over as well? No? Not fancy it?
Oh, Rambo.
You on commission here, Gaz?
Not at all, mate. No, not at all. I just think, yes, he does charge for selfies.
Unless you're a YouTuber.
I think it'd be an interesting. Well, obviously, I mean, somebody like yourself's going, Rick. So it's obviously going to be an interesting event. So people are going to get to learn and have a good natter and a good chat and a good mingle with people that are all interested in the same thing as.
Hang on, then, Gaz. So we don't count. Are we not? We're not important.
What do you mean? I said it'll be able to go and have a good mingle with other people like-minded that keeps koi just like ourselves. I mean, I'm pretty sure that includes you too, Daz. People like-minded that keep koi.
That umbrella went up fucking quick, didn't it?
Has anybody else got any more questions they would like to ask the panel this evening?
Yeah, Daz, have you spawned the big kahaku yet?
No, bloody haven't. It's not for want of trying. I've tried every flipping spawn set with them damn fish, but
I
put them back in the pond because it was stressing me out seeing them swimming around, and it was getting otter and otter in the tunnel. I thought, it makes me nervous. The sooner I get them back in the natural environment, the better. Yeah. I'll have another go with them, but it's certainly not ready at the moment.
Always a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
The ones you want never want to spawn, do they?
Exactly. You got it all worked out in your head. Yeah, I do this, and this. And then, the fish just don't want to play ball, do they? And the ones the ones you're not bothered about, they go at it, no problem.
Yes. Yeah, I put 2 sets of Hiyatsuri in with all my last lot because I definitely wanted some Hiyatsuri, and neither set went. Everything else, 11 other fish went, but not the 2 Hiyatsuri. I blame Vince.
Vince, you should your little moon picture for good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Twice in the video.
Yeah. Or maybe rub that brown phallic symbol thing. That's fertility.
It's quite a big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right then. I think the next thing we can do now then, as we've got no more questions coming in and we've exhausted all the ones that were on the group.
I've got one. What other treatments can you use? Like you got your PP as a dip. Is there any other treatments you can use as a dip? Apart from salt and PP, instead of doing the whole pond?
To treat what? What are you trying to treat?
Nothing, I'm just in general.
You can use formalin as a dip. So you can use most things as a dip, to be fair. But the problem is if you've got a problem in the pond, there's not a lot of point dipping the fish because you put them back in the pond and whatever was in the pond's still in the pond and it'll be back on the fish, won't it?
Yeah,
so it was just a question,
Yeah, I mean, if you're buying in fish and you haven't got quarantine like Gaz does or whatever, a dip just gives you, you might eliminate something from going in the pond. But yeah, I mean, formalin you can use for dip for Costia, but it works quite well when you treat the whole pond anyway. So you're not really gaining a lot. Chloramine T you can use a dip, but it does strip. You're leaving them pretty vulnerable thereafter to anything else. So depending on where they're going, it's.
I can tell you. When you were saying to us the other day, Rick, about had it been successful or not. I got the Costia and I had flukes. I ain't got Costia and I ain't got fluke. The chloramine T treatment did work.
It has worked.
But
what the hell happened there? My screen froze. There we go.
You're right now.
But I have got white spot. It didn't touch the white spot.
No, well, white spot. You can only really treat white spot when that's why it's a 7-day cycle when it's off the fish.
Yeah.
So when you see white spot on fish, you're seeing the mature white spot, and then it literally kind of explodes into the water, and all the little spores go off to find their new. That's when it's vulnerable. That's when the treatment kills it. So you're killing. You're never killing the white spot on the fish. You're killing the white spot as it explodes
in the water column.
Water before it's the next generation, which is why you have to do it 3 times over, depending on the temperature, 3 times over 10 days, or the hotter it is, the quicker it happens. But yeah, white spot's pretty robust. You won't kill it when it's in the mucus, basically the swarmers
it's
at least.
right inside it, isn't it? It's in the
Yeah,
mucus.
it buries itself down into through the mucus to the skin or whatever. So it's pretty much untouchable until it comes back out as an adult, which is why you sometimes see it reoccurring months or years later on certain fish, that it just almost sits dormant, and then you stress them enough and out it pops again. And it's one of those quite easy to deal with if you got it at the right time. You know it's there. You see white spot on the fish, then you do your sort of 3-4 courses over your period of time, and you should be, no bother at all. But yeah.
Recommended treatments?
White spot, malachite formalins, you kind of only, there isn't, when it's free swimming, most stuff will kill it, potassium, whatever, but it won't stay in the water long enough to cover the period. So malachite will stay in there long enough to cover, if you do it every 48 hours or 3 days or whatever, again, depends on the situation, but you're keeping the treatment in the water for the entire period. So every time one of those adult white spot pops, you're killing all the spores. So you're killing it. Whereas potassium would kill the spores, but be gone out of the water after 6 or 8 hours. And then you might have another one pop. And before you put another dose of potassium in, it's gone through. So you're missing a window. And obviously the strength of the treatment and there's so many variants, but generally malachite is probably the safest, best option. There's some that are malachite, formalin, and acroflavin mix, because acroflavin stay in the water column a long time as well, and that will kill the swarmers when they come off the fish. Any of the treatments that stay about, I think methylene blue as well, that will stay longer periods in your setup.
5 days. Methylene blue is like a 5-day treatment.
One I've never used is acroflavin.
Yeah, it's like any treatment. It's got its windows, it's got its uses. It's good for killing bacteria in the water column. Good for, like I say, for white spot, because it will stay in the water for a long time, and the fish tolerate it really well. It's not something that's particularly aggressive to the fish. So, one of those. Every pond's different. The amount of organic loading. If you've got UVs running on it, the filtration, the stock of fish, there isn't a follow the instructions on the bottle, basically. But if that doesn't work, then phone a professional, and they'll be able to give you a dose that maybe is a bit stronger that might work. But it's about keeping the chemical at a dose in the water for the period when it will kill the swarmers. And obviously that doesn't happen all in one little window. It happens over a period of time, which is why you do it over the period of time. But
you can kill white spot with salt, but maintaining the correct salt level for a long enough period of time to the
problem with that is salt. Yeah, you can, but a lot of white spot is salt tolerant. You get white spot on marine fish, and they're kept at much higher salt levels than you'd ever keep in your pond. So yes, technically at a high salt level, you can control certain white spot, but the white spot that affects marine fish, you can't. So
I only know that because a few years back, I housed my best mate's fish while he was rebuilding his pond, and he had a sturgeon. And because of the sturgeon, the only treatment I could use was salt. But maintaining that 0.7 to 0.8 for 8 days with water changes and stuff like that, it's hard.
It's one of that's the trouble. Certain species don't tolerate certain treatments, and it's kind of, if you just keep koi, you deal with stuff that you can use on koi or whatever. But it's not as common, perhaps, white spot. We don't really see it that often until a few on the ground show decided to pop out of it. And it's one of those things that it can be hidden. You just don't see it for ages. And enough stress and enough conditions and out of pop. But it's one of those, as long as you see it, it's quite easy to deal with. It's when you don't see it in a big pond and the fish don't look right, but you ignore it and it builds up, and then you will start losing fish from it. and causing the irritation from it will cause more damage to them as well. So
that's what made me notice as it got hotter beginning of this week. I thought, God damn, there's a lot of fish flashing there. So I took 4 out, 3 scrapes per fish. And I thought, I did say in one of my last videos that I've got some fish to take over to a friend. I've been housing for him, and I didn't want to move anything. I'll be taking them out and scraping them and checking them. So when it was closer to the time for him to go, I'd do a scrape. And then when I seen them all flashing a little bit and a bit of an itch here, there, and everywhere, and I thought, what's going on here? Took them out, 4 fish, all 4 fish, white spot. I thought, there you go, right. So I treat him for that now. But it was everything else gone, completely gone. So I'd rather be dealing with white spot than dealing with flukes or costia or trick. I mean, maybe the easier one, but it's just a longer, prolonged treatment in it. That's like you say. But so far, so good. Nobody seems to be flashing or flicking anymore. So I think.
Mentioning sturgeon, there is a comment in the a question in the comments.
Well, I've got one here on screen, Vince, that I've been sat here waiting for. Amanda Smith's put in, really struggling with nitrates at the moment. I'm on week 5 of keeping salt at 0.3. Is thus okay? New pond.
If you can take the salt higher than that, it's not a problem.
0.3 can remain at 0.3 continuous.
That's not an issue. The fact that obviously the nitrite's still a problem. Might have to buy some Bacto Plus bacteria stuff. Get in there. Yeah. Nitrite's always a lot more difficult in a maturing system it just takes more time to get it to build, the bacteria to build up to deal with that. It's patience.
It's the pond.
Don't know, Vince, not mine.
No, I was asking because how new is the pond, and that in itself can give us an indication why the nitrite is so high, because it hasn't built up the right bacteria. Can you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I took that as it was a newish pond and it's going through its cycle and taking its time. But yeah, you'd have to ask Amanda, was it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Gavin, but you're one of maybe 1,000 comments. I can't catch them all, mate. For ponds with both kois and sturgeon, what's the best food for winter / cooler months? Well, sturgeon food and koi food.
Yeah.
Not that simple.
No,
it's not that simple because
people eat each other's, and the sturgeons tend to eat whatever they can, don't they? They're a greedy little.
But not just that, a sturgeon will want a high protein diet right down to temperatures of like -4. And
this is why I've said before.
And you don't want to be chucking in high protein food in a pond that's 6-7 degrees, because the koi are going to want to eat it anyway, because they're bottom feeding fish, and most sturgeon food sinks to the bottom because that's where the sturgeon feed from. So
the bottle feed them.
Yeah.
It's different. That's why I've said before, though. I mean, it's for that exact reason. It's difficult to keep sturgeon with koi at certain times of year, because you can't do what you need to do to give the sturgeon what it requires. But
the simplest thing to do is feed the koi a low protein floating food, then walk down the other end of the pond, get a bit of drain pipe, stick it down, pellet it down. You'll get away with it for a while, and then the koi learn the rattle with the pellets, and they'll all come back. It gives you a little bit of a window, but sturgeon food wants to be high oil, high protein, even in the cold weather, and you don't want the koi eating that.
You can sell your sturgeon, mate, because they're ugly.
Yeah.
Well, I actually like them. I think they're like they're prehistoric dinosaurs in that respect.
Well, they've been around that long, haven't they? They're a very, very old type of fish, aren't they?
After personal experience of having sturgeon in the pond, not just my mates, but I've had my own, and I've lost a couple. One right at the start was I didn't know what I had, and the garden centre who sold it to me never gave me the correct information. And within a couple of weeks, it turned into a horseshoe. And that was basically because it wasn't being fed enough of the right stuff. And this is my biggest hate with garden centres and some of these places like Maidenhead Aquatics. They're charging 70, 80 quid for a 16, 17 inch centimetre long sturgeon. And they're selling them to anyone without any information or any what's the word I'm looking for? Correspondence to tell them exactly what that sturgeon needs. And the other side of it is, like I say, I had a power cut. And because the oxygen and the flow stopped in my pond, within hours it turned into a horseshoe, because sturgeon also need a highly oxygenated body of water, and it also needs some kind of current. So if you lose power, you lose your current, you lose your air, you're going to end up losing your sturgeon as well.
Yeah.
Simple solution, mate. I think simple solution. Keep koi with koi. Keep sturgeon with sturgeon.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry.
You can keep them together, but yeah, there is windows. Ideally, you want your pond as hot as you can in the summer, which the sturgeon don't like. You know, they're a cold water species. So there is drawbacks. And if you want to grow your koi through the summer and give them the best, then that's not the best for the sturgeon. And the other way around is in the winter, the sturgeon wants to be feeding hard, and that's when they grow. And that's when your koi will be trying to nick their food and not doing themselves any favours. So it's...
I do think they look proper cool when when you see them massive, when they're big, huge things. But
long.
Yeah,
So my mate's one, it was over 3.5 foot long. It wasn't a small sturgeon.
Yeah.
But yeah, as little things, I think they're not my cup of tea. But each to their own. That's what makes fish keeping different, isn't it? Because everybody likes something different.
Oh yeah,
It's so good, dude. I want to mess. Not my cup of tea, though.
No.
Right.
Amanda just put a comment on, didn't she?
Yeah, she put on. She's been using PSB for 7 weeks.
Right.
Oh.
Ease off on the feeding in a little bit, not stopping. Lay off a little bit, and hopefully your filter system will mature up.
Did she tell us what type of filter she's trying to mature?
Yeah, there you go. What type of filter are you using, Amanda?
If it's K1 in the Nexus or something.
Memory serves, I think Amanda's running an easy pod.
So she's trying to run
K1
K1 in a moving bed.
I only say that because Amanda won the easy pod flaps that I gave away.
So it's your fault.
Everything's my fucking fault tonight, isn't it, Moose?
If it's new K1, then it is going to be.
England AV says sturgeon is a moneymaker, no need for them. It's a bit like, but I mean, it's the same thing in it. It's the butterfly butterfly koi. Nobody likes them either. It does think them.
There's nothing wrong with butterfly koi.
No, there isn't. I properly like them. I do like them. But it's the same thing. If we were all the same, it'd be one hell of a boring world that we lived upon, wouldn't it? All right. Anybody else got? Oh, Nexus 200K1 is what she's got.
Right. Can she stop the air and then just make the K1 static for a while? Stop the air moving in it. Get it to trap some rubbish in it, and it will mature faster.
What you need to do is save some shit.
Need to do what? Yeah.
Save some shit. Maybe. How often are you cleaning it? If it's a brand new system, are you cleaning 2-3 times a week, or are you doing it just once a week, or can you go to fortnightly for a bit for the filter to mature more? As a question, Amanda.
There you go.
It's not something we do, the asking of the questions, is it? This is kind of like reverse. Ask the audience. Right, what do you think about doing a little bit of the old Asagi appreciation? And as we have Aid on this week, Aid, what we would like you to do as our guest this evening, god damn. He's going to think out, mate, I'm sorry.
You can't. I've got Penny Guy.
Tony was in the bottom of the thing, and because I was doing the spin wheel thing, I completely forgot, and now he's gone. Sorry, bud. Unless there is a member of public out there that would like to come on, just for a quick short one, just to pick your fish or whatever. Unless you want to pick it, Ed, do you want to pick it? Do you want to pick the next fish that we're going to showcase and talk about in 2 weeks' time, ladies and gents? Not next Thursday, the following Thursday. There we go. Sorry, mate.
Here he is.
It wasn't intentional at all, bud. What would you like to go with it? Do you want to pick one, or if anybody else wants to join us? I'm told that we can get more than 6 in here now, but I'm not 100% sure if that's what you can do. But
I don't know. I was shot in the dark, all like tanchos.
Tancho, as in actual an official tancho. Tancho show.
Yeah, all the tancho showered, all the tancho.
All the
Any
tancho.
tancho.
There we go. Then. Right. In the next 2 weeks' time, if you could all do us a huge favour and send us in the pictures of your tanchos so that we can go through them and have a look at them, as we will be doing very shortly, going through the Asagis that have been sent in.
What do we do with the Matsukawa back? What happened to that then? We missed that one.
Oh no! Well, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the next one's going to be Matsukawa Baki that was picked by
the Benigoi.
No, we are Benny Guy. We are Benny Guy. We've had Leo picked the Matsukawa Baki, didn't they? So 2 weeks' time, sorry, my apologies. 2 weeks' time will be the Matsukawa Baki. The follow on after that, then we need a secretary.
Tancho.
So in 4 weeks' time, we'll be all former tanchos.
It's July by then.
I'll have to go and buy a tancho now.
Yeah, I have to paint some.
Well, we've got So Leo,
just spray paint before step, Anthony.
Well, Ricky did organise another Kohaku that's got like a tancho spot on its head, hasn't it?
Marathon, though, isn't it?
There we
You're
go.
including that.
No,
you weren't allowed that, Ricky. It's a nice fish.
Sorry, Dave. We can only have 6, but thank you for testing that for us, mate. It's 10 if you pay for the subscription.
Do you want me to drop off, mate, so someone else can come on?
Oh, yeah, you're all good. Dave, I think David was testing it for us because Gary Webber just said you can have up to 10 guests on StreamYard now, but that's only if you pay for the 12 monthly subscription. So, as a free package, you were only allowed.
A free one, you're not.
I don't mind dropping off if someone else wants to come on for a little while.
Everybody else want to come on and join us this evening? Does anybody want to take Vince's seat? It's red up.
You got to take the flak as well.
Let's do the Asagi appreciation. Let's get that one underway. Let's get that one started. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, mate. I knew it must have been Gary that said it before, but I knew that they brought some out about it. Now I'll have to have a look into it because if I can get 10 on, that'd be pretty good.
Gaz, did you get that picture and video I put on Telegraph?
On Telegram. I think I've put yours in there. I think it's
they're not brilliant, but
Tony, don't sell yourself down.
No, but the big one, the 60 centimeter one, is one of yours, Ricky.
Oh, it must be all right then.
It was it's 8 years old, and it was one of the fry I had from you.
Well, there you go then.
Do it again, if you wouldn't mind.
But it hasn't got a traditional. I mean, the red went right over its back. Really, that's the trouble.
More of a here bag then.
More of a what, Vince?
More of a here saggy.
Is it? Maybe it is. Maybe it's one of those.
Yeah. Tony, send the pictures to Gaz again, and we can have a look at it.
Yeah, pop them back in again, mate, because I haven't got it. I did get a few other come through as well. Right, let's go with the first one that I've sent in, which is from Adam, and we'll bring that up. Share screen. So this is our first one, and this is Adam's Asagi. Where did you get it from, mate?
Ginrin.
Yeah, it is Ginrin, yeah.
Ginrin, yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Let's remove that out of the way. We'll see you there then on Sunday. So that's our first one from Adam.
I like the red round the eyes. Looks right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's
We only got the one photo of that one, Gas.
Yeah, just the one, unfortunately, mate. Yeah.
Well, look, we're all over here.
It's just there, look. Oh, yeah, we've got loads here. There's loads. But that's the one that we got through from Adam.
I knew he's had a kid.
And then we've got Amanda Smith's.
Dan, you're exploring.
That one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the
That
penny.
looks like an older fish.
Ginrin again, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, yeah. It's
I like
a
the
deeper,
dark ones.
darker blue. Oh, blue. Well, not blue, is it? But whose is that one?
It's got a nice clean head.
This good looking
Yeah.
fish, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice
Let me
pet.
just put this. Let me put this file over on this side, and then I can make that maximum again, and then I'll be able to tell you whose it is. Can you still see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a lovely clean head. Matsuba looks fairly clean as well.
That's Amanda Smith's as well. So that's Amanda Smith's second. I think she's got 2 or 3 Amanda Smith on this one. So that one, and then that one.
Yeah.
Same picture. Sorry, my bad. So both of those are Amanda's.
I really like the penny in that darker one though.
Yeah, it is nice.
Opposite ends of the spectrum, aren't they?
Yeah.
Old school one and a new one.
Yeah.
Now that one. No, come on. It's a nice fish. Well presented. It's got a good body.
Is that yours, Gaz?
This one's
the tail-
Aaron
Tail
from
lets
Humber
it
Koi.
down.
And the reason why he drew one is because he hasn't got one yet.
I tell you, that looks like a schlong hanging out of his mouth.
Sorry, Aaron, mate, but I did tell you I'd put it on.
I ain't going to look at that one, is it? The beaches.
The next one we've got there is Chris Henton's. And he said, not the nicest of looking of Asagis, but I like it. To be fair, mate,
So
it's not that bad looking fish.
Yeah.
It's got a nice little red to his nose.
Looks good to me. It puts mine to shame. I've just
Again, it's got a real nice penny.
just loaded mine again on Telegram.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Let's see if we can find yours on Telegram, man.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
look.
Oh, you done it again. You done it on Vince's chat. There we go.
Yeah.
Tony, you could just send it to me. That's much easier.
Again, that's very, very old school in the style.
Is that the one as a fry you got from me?
Yeah, it's 8 years old and it doesn't look it in the bowl there, but when it's stretched out properly, it's 60 cm.
Oh, nice.
Hang on, that cost you about 10p, didn't it? That's a bargain.
Yeah, probably less than 10p.
Ginrin as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
On
It's almost brown like an Ochiba Asagi.
I was thinking that, yeah. It's funny, it's red at the front and then it changed to brown further down.
Someone's been doing some wacky crosses again, haven't they, Vince?
Guilty as charged, Your Honour.
I think there's a video as well on amongst them.
That's your lot. That's what you've sent through there.
That's two different fish, isn't it? Nah, two different fish.
That's a different fish, isn't it? That one is, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
different.
I didn't manage to get your big one in the bowl today. Otherwise, I would have put that one up. Managed to
I
get
reckon in front
the snow
of those pictures, there was a video. I
What
think.
did you want, son?
There we
There it
go.
There you go. I quite like that, Tony. It's all right.
Yeah.
That looks 60 centimetres, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, say it's not far off it if it's not, is it? Is it?
When it's straight in the bowl, it is.
Done all right with that, haven't you?
Yeah, lovely, friendly fish.
Well, yeah.
As I say, one of your fry at 2 weeks old, I think it was. About 8 years ago, it was.
Yeah. You've done well with that, Tony.
Nothing wrong with that. We could give it a new name. Bronze Warrior. I'm going to sell that for loads of money.
The Bronze Warrior.
What's the electric cables over the top of the bowl there?
That's a net. That's a net.
That's a net, is it?
Right, so that's sorry, Vince. You
Chris going over the top of
everyone's going to be
Anthony's
wondering
tank.
what the Asagis are about now, aren't they? And we shut that down. Where did I put those? There we are. Bring them back in here. So that's Amanda Smith's, Humber Foy, Chris's, and then now this is nice, mate.
Oh yeah.
Let's go across one. There, that's Dave.
That's
Rocket
proper.
Boys.
Now that is nice.
Yeah, proper.
That's nice. And I do believe it's Adam Byers.
Yeah, it's got the nice clean head, isn't it? It's good looking fish.
For me, personally, I would have liked that Matsuba to have been a little bit lighter at that size. But that is, from what you can see on the picture, a scale perfect with that Matsuba.
Yeah, no, it's, in a couple of years that'll look so much better as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think we've got a
fish.
little video of it as well, I think. Yes,
Nope.
we have, yeah.
Oh, look at the body on that.
Nice. Isn't it?
That's nice, mate.
Nice lines.
Rocket Boy's winning at the minute.
Yeah.
You got that, yeah.
See, that would have come from the spawning that myself and Susan harvested the pond of.
So how old's the fish then, Rocky Boy? If you're on, mate, how old's that fish, bud? We'll put that back and watch it again.
There's
Because
no
I'd
way.
say that's coming into this side this year.
There's no way he's getting that 4-step now.
Price has just tripled.
Yeah, reticulate. Everything about that's nice. That's a nice Asagi, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Hats off. I've had a hat. Doff my hat to it. That's a good fish.
Now,
Close that.
this one was shared, but I don't know. I do know.
Yeah,
the numbers,
that's a show winner, that is, isn't it? I've seen that in one of the koi magazines.
That's,
Isn't that the one that was at the All England Koi Show that got the most unusual?
Kevin Sayers one. Well, that's nice as well.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah.
Very,
Because that's Adams as well, isn't it?
It is, that's Adams, yeah.
Yeah. So that just goes to prove the quality that can be attained by UK breeders.
Yeah. I mean, it's
that's exceptional, isn't it?
Look at the
dog.
gin rin it's got here. Just like a little, because this central part here in a little circle isn't.
Yeah.
But then all these are gin rin.
Isn't that the conjo?
It's gin rin just around the outer edges of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one with the gimbal around the outer edge of the scale.
Yeah, that's sweet. I like that.
How even that pattern is over the head, each side equal.
Yeah, no, that's
very nice.
fish. Getting better and better.
Oh,
Blimey.
that's a small one. Can we make that bigger? By the power of my magic mouse. We've lost some quality to it, but we can still.
That's lovely. Clean head.
Nice clean fish again, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a shame about the reflection.
I mean, that's a really big bull or a really small fish. I'm only joking. DT Coy has voted Aaron's Asagi at first. I mean, yeah. And that one was, let me just see if we can. That particular fish. What is that one? That's Nigel's. That's Nigel Pinfield's. 45 cm, both of them.
Yeah.
He has a pair of them from Adam Bayer, I believe.
There is something about a real nice Asagi, though, that just.
Both nice, them aren't they?
Coming up.
They're good.
Yeah.
Two very nice fish there, Nigel.
I tried doing the begin ring Asagi, but because of the
this
LEDs
one?
in there, it just didn't photo.
Who do you think that one belongs to?
Some weirdo.
Not mine.
That's Rick's.
Yes, one of our Sansa.
That's unusual with the red at the tail.
It's not yours, is it?
That's
Nice
one
in the pecs as well, isn't it? Actually,
Yeah, it looks really blue on the back. It looks nice. That does.
that's full Ginrin, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
My Ginrin looks like that one. Mine gets bigger.
Thing is, that could be any
That'd
one of those.
be the dad to yours, probably.
Both of them, Gaz. I think they're going to end up like that.
I hope it does, man. That was sweet.
And that.
Dibs. Which one you dibs in, Mick? That one.
Damn it.
Rick, whenever you're going to part with that fish, now it's to go to Mick Lawson.
Yeah, because you dibs it.
For whatever price you want. Ha! Got another one here. And the next one we've got now. Sorry. Can we minimize that and we can see what this is? This is Sally Harfield's second fish, but she's actually got 1, 2, 3 to show us. So
Nice.
maximize that. So that's the first one.
See, Benny's really nice on that, and that's what I would class as a Hiyasagi, because it's got more red than it's got anything else.
Yeah, but that's surely like Goshki Asagi.
Yeah, that's more like a Goshki Asagi, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful fish.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like that.
See, now, it surprises me so much how much difference there is between them all.
Yeah. There's no two the same.
Look at that. That's a nice little tangent.
Is it on the decking?
You know, when I first looked at that, Rick, that's exactly what I thought. That's a fish.
How many beers you had?
But it's in a clear plastic bowl.
All right.
It did throw me as well, Sally. It did throw me for a second. I thought, that's not even in a. What's going on? And I seen the little kite mark there on the plastic bowl. I like that too. That's nice.
No, I haven't now.
There's a clever way to photograph it in a clear plastic bowl.
That's nice.
That's a proper old. Yeah.
That's nice. Sorry. On the job. Yeah. That's
Like
nice
that as well.
Nice little red dorsal.
Now, these particular ones, well, I'll just pause it for a second. Have we got mute? There we go. Because we get a commentary with this one as well. These ones are skeggies. Hope you can hear that. Adam Byers again.
Got the nice clean head again.
Yeah. Is Asagi are good? You got to give him that, haven't you?
Yeah.
I might be looking for some more parents out when we're paying them a visit.
I tell you, those Conjo Asagi with the gin on the tail.
So that one's a Hoyer Asagi.
That is clean. Not quite. It's not 90 centimeters, Skeg, but
don't start that again.
Again, all three of them are quite nice. Couple of little darker patches,
Bit
but
steamy coming up, but
he did say it does say at the beginning, I don't even like Asagis. You got three of them. There we go. There's Stevie's. Now then, I believe this one is Tony's, which is Tony Barker. Yeah. Tony Barker's one. Why can't we make that bigger?
is he the guy that's got my Sankey?
He is the guy that's got your Sankey, mate. Yeah.
you ain't going to let him live that down, are you?
No. Yes, another. There's a lot. The level of the Asagis are pretty good, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, it's got that deep red.
They all seem very common to have that red patterning on the head that just, you know what I mean?
Pinches in behind the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do look better with the red fins and the red up the cheeks and whatever, don't they? Definitely.
Yeah.
Got red ears. Yeah.
I do struggle with the ones that are pretty much plain blue and you're hoping for the red to come, but yeah.
I've got a few of them. They say that they shouldn't have much red when they're younger, but you're thinking, yeah, there's no red on this.
It depends on the oil ones. You don't want much red, but the normal ones, you do. So
yeah,
that looks more like a Goshki, isn't it? What is that? That's a bit odd.
The Snow White.
Oh,
the Snow White.
It's a Snow Asagi.
Which is white.
That's Vince's.
And it has got red down the sides. It was sold to me as a Snow Asagi.
Has it got any blue coming up in the scales?
There's a little bit there, but not a lot.
So, yeah, that could be one of the whitest Asagis I've ever seen. Could come good though, couldn't it?
Oh yeah.
The cheeks and the head now, it's quite nice. Needs some red in the fins, mate.
Well,
Yeah.
That nice
is a Yoshiki koi fish because that came from the Carp Co. I got that down at the Detling Koi Show last year, and he sold it to me as a Snow Asagi.
So it's 2-year-old as well.
But yeah, we're coming in 2-year-old now. Yeah.
Yeah, that could really blossom in a few years, or might not. It's one of them, isn't it? Yeah, a bit of red in the fins and a bit of reticulation in the scales, and it could look. Yeah,
there is a bit of Benny there, right in at the knuckle, but you can't really see it in the pictures.
You will do. Come over, give us a shout. Come and say hello. Sorry. Fenland Lass is leaving. She's going off, so I just wanted to. She said she'll see us on Sunday.
Cool.
How do we know what she looks like?
You should have watched the videos, Rick.
Well, both Fenland, you say that both Fenland Lass and Paul Adley will be coming to Twisted Towers on Wednesday. And they're bringing a surprise with them.
Surprise! Could be a buildings.
I've got to go now. My earpods, I've only got 1% left on my earpods. They're going to die on me.
Oh, no.
Right.
Thanks very much for joining us, Ed. I appreciate it, mate. So you've picked,
Thanks,
for 4
Dave.
weeks' time, you've picked the
Tancho.
Tancho shower.
Nice.
I'm going to, it's down to 1% now. I'm just going to lose it totally in a second. I'll
Take
catch you
care.
next
Thanks
week.
for joining us, mate.
Hope
Ciao,
everything's,
Jesus.
hope everything's going well with your pond, Aid.
It will do. I'll sure put a video out in the next week or so.
Great stuff.
Okay. I'll catch you later. I'm going to die. I'll catch you later. Artemis.
I hope not.
Well, we hope not.
Not live, please. There we go. These are some of Daz's. Daz, for some reason, when they come through on Facebook Messenger, they're tiny. But these are some of Daz's.
Yeah,
That's
not-
pretty.
That's not really one of mine, that ain't. That's one I've inherited.
Oh, is that
Oh,
one
so
you
that was an inherited fish. It's not one from your spawnings.
No.
Is that the
No,
same
that's-
one, Daz?
No, this is. Oh, yeah, I think it is
That's
actually.
what it is. Same fish.
I think so.
Not got red on the head, that one.
Now look at this.
Different. Now that's a Goshki Asagi, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one
We got a
We'll
fair
find-
few
we'll
of them
find out.
last year spawning.
of mine. I had loads. Yeah, loads of them. I gave a load away. I didn't even realise what they were at the time. I thought, oh, these look a bit weird. Thought there's some kind of throwback. So I just kept a few. I should have kept them all. Damn it.
What did you cross? Was that a Shishui Goshki cross?
I have no
Asagi
idea.
Goshki cross? You don't know.
I don't know. I had a male, and I thought it was a Midorigoi, but it must have been a Asagi. I haven't got the male anymore. I was taken out with 6 other males that I got in my male tank that got contaminated with a certain fish from somewhere. Say no more.
All right.
So I got no chance of recreating it again.
That's the
one.
Aragoki one, isn't it?
I think that's an Aragoki
Yeah.
Asagi. There's another Aragoki even better than that, though. You can tell it's an Asagi. It's got the red cheeks. That's just got a little bit of blush on its cheek.
That looks like a perch.
That's where all my fry have been going to. Then.
It does look like a perch.
That looks like a shabumpkin.
That's the Aragoki. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a crazy Shishui, isn't it?
Is it a Shisui?
That's well, a Shishui, isn't it? It's a Deutsch. Yeah, it's a Shishui, but
Right.
with lots of big scales.
Yeah, I saw it got quite a strong blue on its back.
Yeah, it's a Shishui with lots of big
Big
scales.
scale.
See, that's one with no orange at all.
Now,
Yeah.
the Matsuba that I've got in my pond, I bought that from the koi collection last year. A year before, whatever. But anyway, that's how I bought it. There was a very tiny little bit of orange in the cheek and a little bit underneath.
Yeah.
And as it's grown, that orange has receded. And yeah, it's now a beautiful fucking Matsuba.
Should go the other way, shouldn't they? That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
Pretty random, isn't it?
Yeah, again.
Whose is that one, guys?
These
That's
are all
fine.
Daz's, these.
Oh, these are all Daz's.
Yeah. It's a shame the orange goes all the way over the head, though.
That's the perch.
That's just,
Yeah, that's from the top.
Don't look like a perch now, though, does it?
no, not quite the same. That other shot just did look like a perch.
I mean, it did. I'm having to stretch him out a little bit.
You can tell it's Daz's because you can see his face in the photo.
Oh,
And then this one, I like this one, but again, this is Goshki Asagi.
Yeah.
Mm.
Daz,
Right,
you did let a lot of them go, mate. You could have had some belters, couldn't you? But
The stepping on that
That's
one was lovely. Some
pretty.
of them were-
it is
Yeah.
pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's pretty, Daz. I like that one.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry, Daz, I'm skipping through them quick there, but yeah, that's a couple more. Of the same
How
shot,
has it
same
got?
fish out. That's no, it's just different
I think
angles
it's-
from shot.
I think this one's side on as well with the Goshki ones. Maybe I didn't send that one to you.
Yeah, you did.
It was a
like
bit.
to kick.
Uh,
Now, there is
quick
one more.
dabbing
from-
on.
Have you ever had any Goshki shower, Ricky?
No. I've never crossed Goshki shower.
They look nice.
Someone else with a clear bowl.
That's one I got last year from Daz at 7 cm, and I got it to 22. And that's from Daz's koi farm.
That's from the same ones.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gaz can grow them better than I can.
Oh, look, it's one of them ugly Benny Ginger things.
That's mine. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't boil them up this evening because they're under treatment. So I didn't want it. Well, I've got blue water, so you wouldn't have been able to see very much of them. I did want to get out the one I got from Rick's as well, but while they're under treatment, I'm not going to be chasing around netting them up as well. Leave them be.
No, definitely not.
We'll see him next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. So, get rid of that. And then we can go back to them. Which one are we picking as the winner?
The Adam Beyer one, World Initiative.
I reckon Rocket Boy takes it.
I reckon Rocket Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To be fair, all the Adam Beyer ones look spot on.
They've got a very similar look to them, haven't they?
They have,
that
yeah.
clean.
Yeah. Uniform, yeah.
Yeah.
That clean head on them, it's definitely line, isn't it? Yeah.
Perhaps we should give it to Adam Beyer then.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
to
yeah,
be fair,
because he's
to be
had the
fair,
majority.
he's had the fact that the majority of fish and majority of his fish have looked pretty damn good and quite uniform.
yeah,
You would say that.
those Asagis are good.
Consistent.
To be fair, I expected to see. Oh, what about Ben Rocher? I sent
Adam
you.
Byers again.
Gaz, did you get Ben's fish?
No.
I sent you.
Everything that's been sent to me is all what I've got here. This is it.
Oh, so I sent him on Messenger.
You sent him.
Yeah.
Well,
What you sent him just this evening?
Yeah.
Facebook's hijacked them.
we can only vote on what we see, and I think Adam's won that.
Yeah. To be honest, his fish was nice, but Adam's fish definitely take it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know those Asagi are good.
Yeah, what I was going to say is I expected to see a few old moth-eaten Asagis because you generally tend to see them like that in ponds, and they're all of a pretty good quality.
They look pretty good.
We got some there from Anthony as well.
We've voted now. You can't start changing the rules.
Just more to be appreciated, look.
Oh.
But you didn't send them through, Dad. You just sent a message saying there's some more from Ben Rocher as well, but no fish.
Oh, look, I clicked on them all, and stupid technology.
I'm sure that's what it is.
That's a nice clean.
Yeah, that's a lovely Asagi, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when you see a couple of the others, it's like, yeah, the lighter ones are nicer.
A little dark for me on top.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I've got to give it to. Got to give it a Rocket Boy. You've got the best one, mate. 100%. But saying that, I do like that one. That looks quite a nice fish too.
Yes.
Very nice to see it in a bowl.
Yeah, definitely.
But Rocket Boy, you've definitely taken it this evening, mate.
What does he win? A cup or something?
No, he just wins the bragging rights to say that he definitely has the nicest Asagi out of the community group.
10 cm this year.
Not even a cup.
No.
This could be rather expensive. It's 52 weeks in a year. That's a lot of cups.
We're only doing it once a fortnight. Come on. Vince gets a mug every week in the post.
Yeah, I know. But he doesn't send down to bloody mug a week, does he? Do you, Vince?
No.
What?
I said, but you don't. I mean, that's second place. Sorry. That one's definitely taking second place, Aaron. Quality fish, mate. Take some growing, though.
Yeah, there's a good level of fish, though, isn't it?
Yeah, there is.
That's quite nice.
And I've got to admit, Sally, I quite like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I'd probably give that number 2 for me. Rocket Boys, just because it's got that nice little tancho spot.
I quite like seeing the red in the dorsal as well.
The dorsal, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So that's my first and second. And then again, I like that one too, because that one was quite nice. But
That's very unusual.
yeah, it is.
Could show that twice, though, couldn't we? That could turn up in the Goshki week as well.
It could.
Yeah.
So there
Talking
you go.
about Goshki and stuff, the spawnings that were done have hatched rather well, haven't they, Ricky?
Last week's have done, ridiculously well. Yes.
Cool.
Jokes aside, it's amazing that all the best are UK fish.
Yes. Not a single Japanese one amongst them.
There you go.
That's cool, yeah. There you go. That's because they're Asagi.
Rest my case.
Well, no. If we're doing showers or whatever, I'm not sure. Be quite so. Yeah.
I've had some nice shower from Adam over the years.
Yeah. Not quite. Yeah, it's harder, isn't it?
I must admit, I'm not a fan of shower. They seem more trouble than they're worth.
Yeah, I could agree with you.
I've got to admit, I wasn't a massive fan. I weren't a massive fan, but I really do like that one I picked up from George.
Yeah, I mean,
I do like me growing show one as well.
Yeah.
Your tongue should fester and drop out.
Pain in the arse.
Showa are the best of the 3 ghost hanky. The other 2 can really go fucking with them as far as I'm concerned.
No.
But Showas and Shiros. Or should I say Showas and Eniatsuri.
Crafty says
Where was Crafty? Which was Crafty's?
The one that I just showed, the last ones in the end. The one that you said about, we've already made a decision.
All right. So you're racist against the Japanese now. You put them on after we've made our decision.
Oh, was that Japanese?
The very last one was Japanese, which was Crafty's, which is.
It was good. There's nothing wrong with
it. For me personally, Adams are better. Sorry, bud. I'm not slagging your fish up in any way, shape, or form. But that one of Rocket Boys, that's damn nice.
Yeah,
that's very nice. So, Rick, are you still in agreement that he wins a coffee cup? Because I agree with this next statement, which would be, a new Forest Koi cup.
I've been using the same cup for 30 years, mate. I'd send it to someone, but it's pretty rank.
And up until a couple of weeks ago, New Forest have been running as a company for the last 30 years, and up until a few weeks ago, they didn't even have a logo, let alone a fucking koi mug.
Ricky's bug's probably full of brine shrimp, I imagine.
It's full of the manga mix or whatever it's called. Mike from Koi Beginning says, I've got a Japanese Asagi, a little mark on it, but it's still nice. It is a nice, mate, that one you've got. It is a nice fish. I'm nice to see you again, bud.
Yes.
Hope everything's going well with the fish.
You still got the snow Asagi, Mike. That was nice.
That was stunning, mate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's 55 cm as well. But right, you said it there before, mine was a Japanese koi. So what's it now?
Transgender that's left.
Dual nationality.
He's taken up British nationality.
Gaz sent you a PM, a private message.
It's not private now. We're all waiting to hear what it says.
Sure, you said private message. Gotta say it.
To be fair, though, I think those Asagi, yeah, across the board, good fish, aren't they?
Now then, wow.
Yeah.
Hang about. We've got to share this as well because this is
How
at
private?
this is at the same spawning that he's just sent those he's had bio ones. Let's share that because I mean it's
Ooh.
Ooh.
there you go.
Akamatsuba.
At the same spawning as the Asagi. Kind of nice. Them I quite like them.
Yeah.
They can look really good when they get that red comes up and the nice Matsuba.
Yeah, clean and all.
Mm.
Both heads clean. I like them, Nudge.
Yeah, Susan likes the Nakamatsuba.
Done right.
Dave, do I win a Gaz's Koi Pond mug?
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
does.
Everyone does. I'll just start sending out all my others because I hardly get any else. So I might just start dishing out everybody else. Only got 10. And I ain't got any, Dave. But when I get one, mate, you'll know.
Think yourself lucky you're one of only a few that has a twisted koi mug.
Original,
An original one.
black handled. Still got original. Yeah, I like them, Nigel. They're nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Out the same spawn from the Asagi. Yeah, wicked. Right then.
The Mark II will be landing on the doorstep very soon, thanks to Jill and John at Wayside Koi.
What, just one mug?
Yes. Mark II twisted koi mugs. If you're good, I might let you have one, Ricky.
I identify as a brown bin on glass and plastic recycling slots. On blue day, I identify as a cardboard and paper. And on black bin day, I identify as whatever crap I want to be. Random. Where's my mug, Vince, from DT?
In the post.
DT coffee cups are as rare as hen teeth. Yeah, Rocket Boy, I'll do a swap with you, mate. You send me a cup, I'll send you one. How's that?
Mine are the rarest. I haven't had any done yet.
Get across to Jill and John at
There we
Wayside
go.
Koi. Do your deal.
Paul Coy needs to get himself an ordering, and it just so happened. Oh, you've got till midnight tonight. Vista Print have a 40% off sale.
40% off, eh?
They do that every month or so.
Just do that permanently.
Mate, I've had a 20%, a 30%, and a 40% in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
There was a furniture shop that always had half price sales, wasn't there? All the time.
Yeah. It's because they're not selling cups, so they want you to do Couldn't take the call, Anthony. I'm live, mate. I know you probably didn't mean to ring. Right then, has anybody else got? Hang about, what was that? What did Gaz? You'll have some on Sunday. I definitely won't have any on Sunday, mate, because they take about 5 days to deliver, and I ain't even placed an order.
You do now. Ricky started.
What I will do though is I will run around somewhere and see if I can nick one of Ricky's Koi wholesale mugs, and I'll slip you that. How's that grab you? I'm just going to go around handing out Koi wholesale mugs instead.
I love losing.
Everybody got any more questions they would like to ask the panel?
Right, you seem to be good morning.
Yeah, start playing for money. You'll end up losing.
If we haven't, then
You got 96 on so I think I will lose.
the last of his questions. We've got no more topics to discuss, and I've got nothing else. Do any of you guys got any? Does bring some money Sunday? £8. That's a message from Nick.
What's that? Bring what?
Bring some money Sunday. £8.
Bring some money. What for? What am I buying?
Cheers, Will. Catch you later. Glad to see you become a member of the Only the Bible Club.
And a big congratulations on the fucking result as well, Will, brother.
What's that one, mate? Are you allowed to say, or?
He put a video out. He's had good news as far as his blood and everything with his.
Sweet.
Oh,
yeah.
Brilliant.
Nice one, mate.
Yeah.
Brilliant news. I hadn't seen this latest one.
Absolutely awesome news, yeah.
Sweet.
He dropped a video I think it was this morning or this afternoon. Over the moon, shoved to bits. I think it's something like that. But yeah, he's got a letter saying that everything's sitting where it needs to be at the moment after the bone marrow transplant. So
Brilliant, mate.
fucking
Great news.
awesome.
Yeah.
Except for his cholesterol, but I think we're all in the same boat there.
Cholesterol?
Yeah.
You speak for yourself, mate. I'm like a whippet.
No, Will, that was good news from Will because he's been through the mill a bit, I think, over a period of time.
Oh, yes.
It's good. It's always good to see anybody get through that kind of thing, and it really is.
And have you seen the trees he's been making recently as well?
Yeah, I've seen them. Them are brilliant. He's got some talent, mate. He's got some talent with doing that.
Have you seen the silver one he's auctioning on his channel?
Yeah, very nice.
Good night, mate. I'll see you on Sunday, bud.
But I got one very similar to yours, Vince.
Yeah. But those last two that he's made, where he hasn't used the glass leaves, he's actually created the leaves with the wire himself.
I wonder how many meters of wire went into one of those.
Yeah, a heck of a lot. A heck of a lot.
It's a lot of cable to strip into it.
It's a mug for Vince. I can't do it on camera. It won't work, will it?
Sorry. Let's share. We'll share it. It's a mug for Vince.
Well, it won't work that way, but it might work this way round.
I can't read that.
It says if I give it a sheet, you'll be the first person I give it to.
I know he loves me, really.
It's a nice cup.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for sharing and sending in your Asagis, even if you don't like them. Appreciate it, mate.
Good stuff.
Are you
Are we meeting for breakfast Sunday?
Or do you need a rod license?
What time are you leaving, Ricky?
In the morning.
Yeah, you'll be silly o'clock, won't you? It starts at 10. You have to be there for 10. So 10 o'clock.
6.
Half 6.
I'll go and do my fish then. Yeah.
Cheers, Jigs. Thank you very much, sir. So don't forget, in a fortnight's time from this week, it will be the Matsukawa Bakis. That's what fish we will be showcasing, the Matsukawa Bakis. And then a fortnight after that will be Tancho Showers.
I've got the metallic Matsukawa Baki. And a Kinrin.
We're all going crafty. All of us are going. And some. There's about
in the special minibus.
Yeah.
Yeah, EKP on tour.
Who's driving?
No, Ricky's driving the Sunshine Bus, isn't he?
What route are you taking, Ricky? You could pick me up on the way.
I probably could. If you want to get in my car with my dogs, mate, you're welcome.
Well, tell you what, Dave, right, when I get there or failing, whichever, mate, send me your address and I'll post one to you, bud. I'll have one sent out. Another coffee cup. I get my ass kicked again. Honey, what are you going to buy? Crafty says, excellent. Looking forward to meeting you all. We've got about a party of 9 coming. So in total, with all those lot, I believe. So it should be a good day.
That suggests we're all going together, but we're coming from different places.
All coming from different directions, yeah. We are.
Like a
Have we answered all the questions, have we?
They're marking it out for us, though, aren't they, Gaz? GKP parking only.
Yeah, there's a GKP parking area. You'll be spray marked on floor. I will be when we leave anyway. GKP was here.
Yeah.
Line marking paint after back of your van does.
So I chuck up spray cans in the boot.
that's what, yeah. Use the line marker.
Has anybody actually physically got a ticket?
No, it's on your phone.
You should have also been sent an email out from them to say that you can either print this off or you can use this one that you've been sent as proof of entrance. So,
well, I bought it some time back, but I haven't heard nothing, and it said that they'd send the ticket sometime in the future.
Check your emails, Andrew.
Tony, we'll smuggle you in your phone.
No, I did. I emailed them. I emailed them today, and then I got an email straight back and said, "You've now been processed." I thought, great, lovely. That's nice.
Prisoner 40291.
Yeah, I've been processed. But yeah.
The email is your ticket.
Yeah.
Now you can print it off if you want, or you can just take it on your mobile. That's what we'll be doing. Right then, ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you to the panel and everybody, and to Aid and that's joined us earlier on.
And that.
Usual thing, guys. If you could do us a huge favour, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and until next time, we'll keep
smiling.
There we go. Keep smiling. Thanks all for joining us, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, all. See you soon.
Laters.